Change can feel overwhelming and impossible when you look at your life as it is right now. But what if in just 21 days you could become someone so different that even you wouldn't recognize yourself? Not because of some big magic trick, but because of simple daily habits that build up to a real transformation. Imagine waking up each morning feeling stronger, clearer, and more in control than ever before. Picture yourself facing challenges with calm and confidence, making choices that bring you closer to your goals, and finally shedding the old patterns that have held you back. Over the next few weeks, you will learn how to take small but powerful steps every day to shape a new version of yourself, one that shows up with purpose, speaks with honesty, and lives with discipline. This isn't about changing overnight or becoming perfect. It's about showing up consistently, making better decisions, and honoring yourself in a way that feels real and doable. If you're ready to leave behind doubt and distraction and start a journey where each day builds on the last, then keep reading. This guide will walk you through how to become unrecognizable in 21 days by focusing on clear actions and simple truths that anyone can follow. Your new life starts now. Chapter 1. Wake up early and take control of your day. Waking up early is one of the simplest decisions a person can make, yet it has the power to change everything. When you rise before the world begins to move, you step into a space where you are in complete control. No one is demanding your time. No one is sending you messages. The noise is quiet, and you finally have the opportunity to listen to your own thoughts. That silence is not empty, it is full of potential. The first decision of your day is either to claim that power or to give it away. People who sleep through their mornings surrender the most valuable part of their day to habits of delay, laziness, and scattered energy. But those who choose to rise early declare that they are ready to take charge of their life, starting with the hour that most others ignore. When you wake up early, you take the first step toward becoming unrecognizable. You are no longer the person who waits for the world to push them into motion. You become the one who sets your own pace. You stop chasing time and start directing it. The early hours give you the gift of clarity. You can think without pressure. You can plan without interruption. You can move your body, prepare your mind, and create momentum before anyone else has even opened their eyes. And when the world does wake up, you've already gained ground. You're not behind, you're ahead. But this change doesn't begin with a dramatic shift. It starts with a decision, a disciplined decision to get up even when your body wants to stay in bed. A commitment to structure your life in a way that values your time instead of wasting it. It's uncomfortable at first. You may feel resistance, especially if you've spent years staying up late and rushing through your mornings. But anything worth doing will feel difficult at the beginning. That discomfort is not a sign to quit. It is the exact reason why you must push through. Growth never feels easy, but it always feels worth it in the end. Every morning you wake up early is a message to your mind that you are serious about who you are becoming. It trains your brain to respect your time. It develops your self-control, and it reminds you that you are capable of doing what most people avoid. It might feel like a small act, but it's actually a complete shift in identity. You're no longer someone who waits to feel ready. You become someone who acts on what matters, regardless of how you feel. That is power. That is transformation. And that is how change begins. The benefits of waking up early are not abstract ideas. They are real, tangible changes that affect every area of your life. You gain time that you used to waste. You create space to prepare mentally and emotionally before responsibilities hit you. You build rituals that center you, whether it's movement, silence, journaling, or goal setting. These early hours become a foundation that keeps you stable, focused, and grounded throughout the day. Instead of waking up into chaos, You wake up into intention, and intention is what separates the person you are from the person you want to become. In those quiet hours, you can ask yourself the questions you've been ignoring. Where are you heading? What habits are shaping your life? Who are you becoming? Most people never stop long enough to consider these things. They jump into their day reacting, rushing, and repeating the same patterns, but not you. Not anymore. When you rise early, you create the mental space to reflect and to decide with clarity. You are no longer sleepwalking through your life. You are wide awake and fully present in your choices. Waking up early is also the ultimate act of self-respect. It shows that you value your life enough not to waste it. You honor your time, you care about your future, and you understand that how you spend your mornings says everything about how serious you are about change. Success does not begin with external results. It begins with internal alignment. When your actions reflect your values and your schedule reflects your priorities, you become powerful. You don't need to convince anyone that you're serious. They will feel it when they see how you move. Getting up early is not about showing off. It's about showing up for yourself, for your goals, and for the life you say you want. This habit also teaches you one of the most important lessons in life. Control the first hour, and you control the day. What happens in that first hour sets the emotional tone for everything that follows. If you wake up late and rushed, your mind starts the day in a reactive state. You feel like you're chasing everything, and that feeling never leaves you. But when you wake up early and intentionally, your mind is steady. You are calm, you are in charge, and that energy follows you into every decision, every conversation, every challenge. You don't get thrown off course as easily. You've already taken time to ground yourself, and that gives you a kind of quiet confidence that no one can take from you. Of course, there will be days when you slip, days when you stay up too late, or hit the snooze button. But what matters is not perfection, it's persistence. The habit is not built in one morning, it's built in the repetition. Over time it gets easier. Your body adjusts. Your mind adapts. Your life begins to reshape itself around this new standard. And once you start seeing the benefits, you'll wonder why you ever did it differently. The discipline becomes freedom. The early mornings become sacred, and the progress becomes undeniable. If you want to become unrecognizable, you must start by doing what most people won't. You must rise when others sleep. Move while others hesitate. Think clearly while others drown in distraction. That advantage, built over days and weeks, becomes the very thing that separates you from who you used to be. You stop living on autopilot. You stop living in reaction. You take the wheel. You direct your time. You claim your morning. And slowly that new identity begins to take hold. You no longer see yourself as someone who struggles to get going. You see yourself as someone who is disciplined, focused, and driven. That change in identity changes everything. There is also something deeply spiritual about being awake when the world is still. The quiet reminds you that life is not just noise and movement. It's clarity, it's presence. It's a chance to hear your thoughts without interruption, to center your soul before the day tests your patience and resolve. In those moments, you get to check in with yourself. Are you living with purpose? Are you acting with integrity? Are you staying true to your values? Or are you drifting? These early hours are not just about productivity, they're about awareness. And awareness is what gives your life depth and direction. To build this habit, start simple. Set your alarm 30 minutes earlier than usual. Get out of bed as soon as it rings. Do not negotiate with your mind. Do not justify another few minutes. Get up, stand up, Start moving. That moment is where the battle is won. Once you're on your feet, the momentum builds. Use that time well. Don't waste it on your phone or empty scrolling. Use it to build yourself. Stretch, move, breathe, reflect, write, read. Do what centers you. Do what strengthens you. The routine doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be intentional. What matters is not the ritual itself, but the commitment behind it. Over time, increase that time to an hour earlier. You'll discover an entire world that most people never see. The sun rising, the silence before the world wakes, the sense of peace that only comes when your day begins with choice, not chaos. This becomes your edge, your secret weapon, and the best part is, it's available to anyone willing to do the work. Waking up early is not about chasing some mythical version of success. It's about becoming someone who honors their time, protects their mind, and leads their life with discipline. It's about starting each day with the awareness that your time is limited, and every morning is a chance to move closer to the person you want to become. When you start your day with strength, intention, and clarity, you carry that power into everything you do. This is how change begins, not with grand gestures, but with small decisions repeated daily. Not with waiting for the perfect time, but with choosing to rise, literally and metaphorically, before the world expects it of you. You don't need permission. You don't need motivation. You need commitment. The kind of quiet commitment that says, this matters enough to me that I will wake up for it. That single act repeated for 21 days is enough to change your rhythm, your mindset, and eventually your life. The person you used to be may have wasted mornings, hit snooze, and stumbled through the day with no direction. But that person is gone. You are no longer someone who delays progress. You are someone who creates it. You are not chasing time. You are leading it. That shift makes you unrecognizable, not because your appearance changes, but because your energy does. Your discipline speaks louder than your words. Your mornings speak louder than your intentions. You become someone people respect without understanding why. That's the power of waking up early. And it all begins with tomorrow morning. When the alarm goes off, you have a choice. Stay in bed and stay the same, or rise and begin the quiet work of becoming someone new. Choose wisely. The rest of your life begins in that moment. Chapter 2. Cut out distractions and focus on your goals. Most people never reach their potential because their attention is scattered in every direction. They want success, but they spend their time on things that keep them stuck. They say they have goals, but they stay trapped in distractions that offer comfort without growth. The truth is, no one builds a strong life while being pulled in 100 different directions. Growth requires focus. It requires choosing what matters and cutting away what doesn't. If you want to change your life in a short amount of time, the first thing you need to do is take your attention back. Without your attention, you have nothing. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your life. So if your attention is wasted, your life will be too. Every distraction you allow is a trade. It's time you don't get back. It's energy you spend without return. It's progress you sacrifice for comfort that adds no value. Distractions are not always obvious. They don't always look harmful. In fact, many of them feel harmless. A quick scroll, a short video, a small conversation. But these small moments add up and eat away the hours you need to build something meaningful. The phone in your hand can be a tool or a trap. The people you spend time with can lift you or drain you. The habits you allow in your day can sharpen you or slow you down. The choice is always yours. Cutting out distractions isn't about living a dull life. It's about living a life with direction. It's about creating space for your real goals to breathe and grow. When your mind is always entertained, it never has time to think deeply. When you're constantly stimulated, you lose the ability to focus, and without focus, your goals become blurry. You say you want something, but your actions show that you're not serious. This gap between what you say and what you do is where regret is born. The only way to close that gap is through discipline, and discipline begins with focus. You must be honest with yourself about where your time goes. Not in theory, but in reality. Track your days. Look closely. How many hours are lost to things that bring you nothing? How many moments are stolen by the endless scroll, the pointless notifications, the mindless habits? If you truly want change, you must become aware of what is stealing your focus. Not everything that looks urgent is important. Not everything that feels good is useful. If something does not move you toward your goals, it is pulling you away from them. There is no neutral ground. Start with your environment. Remove the things that tempt your attention. Turn off notifications that interrupt your mind. Put your phone away when you work. Create spaces where your mind can stay present. Your environment shapes your habits more than you realize. If distraction is always within reach, your mind will reach for it. But when your space is set up for focus, your actions follow naturally. This is not about willpower, it's about structure. Set up your life so that success becomes easier than failure. Next, examine your digital world. What apps are keeping you busy but not better? What content are you consuming that offers amusement but no growth? Every time you scroll through content that doesn't challenge or inspire you, you train your brain to avoid the real work. The work that feels uncomfortable, the work that actually builds something. Unfollow what distracts you. Uninstall what wastes your energy. Subscribe to what feeds your goals. Build a digital life that supports the version of yourself you're becoming. You cannot keep feeding your mind junk and expect it to build anything strong. The people you surround yourself with also affect your ability to focus. Some people add noise to your life. They complain, they gossip, they pull your energy into things that do not matter. You need to protect your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. You don't have to cut everyone off, but you must be intentional about where your energy goes. Spend time with people who challenge you to grow, not those who distract you from becoming who you need to be. Energy is contagious. Be around those whose energy sharpens you. Once you've cleared the distractions, the next step is to define your goals clearly. If you don't know where you're going, focus won't help. Write down what you want. Be specific. Be honest. What do you want to build, become, achieve? What do you want your life to look like in the next 90 days? Without clarity, your focus has no target. But with clarity, even small actions become powerful. You begin to move with purpose. Your time becomes valuable. You stop chasing everything, and you start pursuing what actually matters. With your goals set and distractions removed, you must now build the discipline to stay consistent. This is where most people fail. They start strong, but fall back into their old patterns. Because focus is not something you do once. It's something you practice daily. Set clear hours for deep work. Block out time where your phone is off, your mind is on, and your energy is directed toward your mission. Start small if you need to. Even 30 minutes of undistracted focus can move you forward faster than 3 hours of scattered effort. This level of focus requires you to tolerate boredom, to sit in silence, to stay with a task even when it feels slow. That's where real growth happens. In the discipline of staying with it when your mind wants to escape. If you can do this daily, your mental strength will increase. You'll begin to see progress that others miss. Not because you're smarter, but because you're focused. And in this world of endless noise, focus is a rare and powerful advantage. There will be moments when distractions feel more attractive than your goals. Moments when you want to escape the pressure and reward yourself with something easy. But you must remember that every time you choose focus, you are training your mind to become stronger. Every time you resist the pull of distraction, you are building the kind of resilience that leads to transformation. It's not just about the task in front of you, it's about who you are becoming through it. You must also create a system to measure your focus. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did I protect my attention today? Did I spend my time on what truly matters? What distracted me, and how can I prevent that tomorrow? This kind of reflection keeps you honest, it keeps you aware, and it ensures that you stay aligned with your goals. Without reflection, distraction creeps back in quietly. But with daily review, you stay in control. Cutting out distractions is not about being rigid. It's about being clear. It's about knowing that your time is limited, and every moment spent on the wrong thing is a moment you don't get back. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be aware, disciplined, and committed. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes. Your focus sharpens, your productivity increases, your life begins to align with your goals instead of pulling you in every direction. This is how change happens, not through motivation alone, but through consistent focus. Every day you choose to cut out distractions, you gain ground, you get closer to your goals, you become more of who you were meant to be, and soon, the person who was once overwhelmed and scattered becomes focused, driven, and unrecognizable. The world will always offer you ways to waste your time, but your job is to say no, to stay locked in, to focus on what matters. That is the difference between a life of regret and a life of progress, and the choice is always in your hands. Chapter 3. Clean your space and organize your entire life. The space you live in reflects the state of your mind. When your environment is full of clutter, your thoughts are scattered. When things are out of place, your direction is unclear. Many people try to fix their lives without realizing they are living in constant physical disorder, and that disorder slowly robs them of clarity, peace, and focus. Cleaning your space is not just about tidying up. It's about creating a life with structure. You cannot operate at your best in chaos. You cannot think clearly in a room that overwhelms your senses, and you cannot grow when your environment is holding you back from becoming someone better. You don't need a bigger house. You don't need new furniture. You need to make space for the life you say you want. That begins with removing everything that no longer serves you. If it doesn't support your purpose, let it go. If it reminds you of the past you're trying to move away from, remove it. Every item you choose to keep should have meaning, function, or beauty. If it doesn't, it's just noise. Most people keep things out of habit, not intention. They hold on to objects out of guilt, fear, or laziness. But holding on to what's unnecessary is the same as choosing to stay stuck. There is nothing small about cleaning your space. It's a serious act of self-respect. It shows that you're ready to take control of your surroundings, your energy, and your future. Living in disorder slowly trains your mind to accept stress as normal. It teaches you to tolerate confusion, procrastination, and anxiety. But when you organize your environment, you teach yourself discipline, care, and precision. You start to move differently. You sit up straighter, you breathe easier, you focus longer, you stop ignoring the mess, and you start building a life that reflects who you are becoming. Begin with what you see every day. Your bedroom, your desk, your kitchen. These are not just rooms. They are daily experiences that either lift you or weigh you down. If your bed is never made, your mind begins the day with disorder. If your workspace is covered in things you don't use, your creativity is blocked. If your kitchen is cluttered, your health routines fall apart. You can't always control everything in your life, but you can control what your space looks like. And that control gives you energy, peace, and confidence. Throw away what's broken. Donate what you don't need. Clean what's been ignored. Organize what you use every day. Label, sort, fold, arrange. This is not about perfection. It's about intention. You are sending a message to your mind that your life matters, that you will no longer tolerate disorder in your space or in your thinking. This is how you begin to build momentum. When your outer world becomes clear, your inner world follows. As your space improves, your habits improve. You begin to treat your routines with more care. You stop rushing through your mornings. You prepare your meals with purpose. You sit down to work without resistance. Your space becomes a system. It supports your growth instead of working against it. You no longer lose time searching for things. You stop feeling overwhelmed by the visual noise. Your attention becomes sharper because it is no longer being pulled in 100 different directions. Cleaning your space also helps you face things you've been avoiding. That pile of papers you've ignored, that box of old items you've been meaning to sort, that closet full of things you said you'd deal with later. These are not just physical tasks, they are acts of closure, they are decisions you've delayed. And every time you walk past them without action, you reinforce the habit of avoidance. But when you finally deal with them, you create a shift. You become someone who finishes what they start, someone who doesn't run from small responsibilities, someone who takes ownership of their life, one drawer, one shelf, one space at a time. This change may feel subtle at first, but it is powerful. You begin to feel lighter. Your steps feel more certain. Your breathing feels deeper. You spend less time feeling stuck and more time moving forward. When you look around and see order, you feel capable. You are not overwhelmed by your surroundings. You are inspired by them, and that sense of control bleeds into everything else. You plan your day more carefully. You protect your time more fiercely. You say no to things that once distracted you. Why? Because your environment has become a reminder of what you stand for. Once your space is clean, keep it that way. Create systems that prevent the mess from coming back. Have a place for everything. Put things away when you're done. Clean up before you go to bed. Don't allow things to pile up. Clutter is not something that just appears, it's something we allow to grow slowly. But if you commit to small daily actions, your space stays clean without much effort, and that consistency builds discipline that spreads into other areas of your life. Organizing your space is also about organizing your mind. Don't just declutter your shelves, declutter your schedule. Say no to tasks that don't matter. Stop agreeing to things that drain you. Clean up your calendar like you clean up your room. Remove commitments that don't align with your values. Free your time from people and projects that are just filling space. The less clutter you allow in your day, the more energy you have to focus on what's essential. Clean your digital world too. Delete apps you don't use. Organize your files. Unsubscribe from emails that waste your time. Clear your inbox. Reset your digital habits. The chaos on your screen creates chaos in your mind. You don't need constant alerts. You don't need 5 hours of screen time. You need clarity, order, and boundaries. And the digital world you live in must reflect that. This process isn't glamorous. It doesn't look impressive. No one applauds you for folding laundry, deleting files, or taking out the trash. But these acts are not about applause. They are about transformation. Quiet, steady, daily transformation. You are shaping your identity by shaping your space. You are proving to yourself that you are someone who follows through, someone who finishes, someone who doesn't let things fall apart without action. If you want to feel stronger, start by cleaning your surroundings. If you want to think clearer, start by creating order in your environment. If you want to grow, start by removing what no longer fits the person you're becoming. This isn't just cleaning, it's becoming. It's standing up for your standards. It's refusing to live in disorder just because others do. It's taking your power back, one shelf at a time. No one changes their life while living in chaos. You can't build something great on top of clutter. You need space. You need order. You need a foundation that supports you. Cleaning your space and organizing your life is not a task. It is a turning point. It is where you stop surviving and start building. It is where you stop saying someday and start acting today. This is your life. These are your surroundings, and every item you keep, every space you shape, every habit you follow, either pushes you forward or holds you back. The more you clean, the more control you gain. The more you organize, the more freedom you feel. And when your space finally matches your values, you become someone new, someone unrecognizable to the old version of yourself, who tolerated clutter and chaos. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens through small, consistent effort. But if you commit to it fully, if you clean with purpose, and if you organize with intention, you will feel a shift deep in your mindset. You will no longer be someone who avoids responsibility. You will be someone who creates clarity, lives with order, and operates with focus. And that is a life built on strength. That is a life ready for growth. That is a life that moves forward without hesitation. Chapter 4. Write your thoughts and plan your daily actions. Most people carry too much in their minds. Thoughts swirl endlessly. Worries, plans, memories, questions, they all mix together until the mind becomes foggy and overwhelmed. Without realizing it, this mental weight slows everything down. It leads to overthinking, confusion, and hesitation. That is why writing your thoughts is not a luxury. It's a necessity. When you put your thoughts on paper, you remove them from the storm inside your head. You see them clearly. You stop spinning in circles. You create space for direction, clarity, and calm. Writing is not about being a writer. It's about being a thinker. And those who think clearly live clearly. A mind filled with unspoken thoughts is like a room filled with unopened boxes. You never really know what's inside until you look. Some thoughts are ideas. Some are problems waiting to be solved. Some are just noise. When you write them down, you begin to organize them. You can keep what matters, discard what doesn't, and understand yourself better in the process. Most people avoid this practice because it feels slow, but slow is exactly what they need. Slowing down to process your mind allows you to move faster in life, with fewer mistakes and clearer priorities. Writing daily is one of the most powerful tools for self-mastery. It shows you where your mind goes when it's not being pulled by outside noise. It reveals patterns, fears, desires, and blind spots. You learn what you're really thinking instead of just reacting to your environment. And once you know what's going on inside, you gain the ability to take control instead of being controlled by it. You no longer live by default. You start to live by design. When you write your thoughts, don't worry about structure. Don't try to impress anyone. This is not about grammar or perfection. This is about honesty. Write as if no one will ever read it. Be direct. Be real. Let your thoughts flow without judgment. If you feel stuck, start by asking yourself simple questions. What am I feeling right now? What's bothering me? What do I need to let go of? What do I want more of in my life? Even if your answers don't make sense at first, the practice of writing will create clarity with time. The second part of this process is planning your actions. Most people wake up and move through the day based on urgency, not intention. They respond to problems. They follow impulses. They handle tasks as they come without structure or purpose. This is how days turn into weeks without progress. But when you plan your actions in advance, even in the smallest way, you take control of your time. You stop reacting. You start leading. This isn't about micromanaging your life. It's about knowing what matters and putting it at the center of your attention. Planning doesn't need to be complicated. It can be as simple as listing your top 3 priorities for the day. It can mean blocking out an hour for something important and protecting that time fiercely. It can mean writing down what you need to stop doing so that your energy isn't wasted. When you plan your day, you remove guesswork. You reduce stress. You align your time with your goals instead of giving it away to distractions. Planning is a form of respect for your time, for your energy, and for your purpose. Start your mornings with a simple writing ritual. Sit quietly, open a notebook, and write what's on your mind. Dump the thoughts. Name the emotions. Acknowledge the doubts. Then shift your attention toward your intentions. What must get done today? What is non-negotiable? What will move your life forward? And what must be avoided at all costs? This small habit creates massive structure. It sets the tone for the day before the world has a chance to pull you in every direction. Throughout the day, return to your notes if needed. Look at your plans. Adjust if necessary. Cross things off when completed. Add new insights when they arise. Writing throughout the day keeps you grounded. It prevents the drift. It reminds you of what matters most. If your mind becomes foggy again, write it out again. There's no rule that says you can only write in the morning. Use this tool as often as needed. The page is always ready to hold your thoughts and help you reset. Writing also allows you to track your growth. When you look back on your entries, you see how far you've come. You see patterns that once controlled you, that no longer do. You see goals that once felt distant, but are now part of your life. You begin to understand your own journey with more depth. You see progress not just in outcomes, but in mindset, and that awareness strengthens your confidence. This habit also trains your mind to slow down before making decisions. When you take time to write your plans, you naturally begin to think more strategically. You stop rushing. You stop reacting emotionally. You pause. You think. You move with purpose. This kind of mental discipline creates long-term results. It makes you stronger in pressure. It sharpens your judgment. It prepares you to lead, not just follow. Some days you won't feel like writing. You'll tell yourself there's no time or nothing to say. Write anyway. Even if it's messy, even if it's short, the value is not in how perfect your writing is. It's in showing up for yourself. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. It stops being a task and becomes part of who you are. Someone who thinks with clarity. Someone who acts with direction. someone who doesn't leave their day to chance. The best part of this habit is that it can be done anywhere. You don't need special tools, just a pen and paper, or even your phone. What matters is consistency. What matters is truth. What matters is that you don't let your mind fill up with chaos and confusion. Life already throws enough at you. You don't need to carry extra weight inside. Writing is how you release it. When you make this practice part of your daily life, you begin to notice a shift. You walk into each day with a plan. You respond instead of react. You stop feeling scattered. Your time becomes more meaningful. Your actions become more effective. You no longer live by emotion. You live by intention. That is the foundation of transformation. There is no success without structure, and there is no structure without clarity. Writing your thoughts gives you clarity. Planning your day gives you structure. Together, they give you the power to direct your life instead of being directed by it. This is how you gain momentum. This is how you escape confusion. This is how you stop drifting. You build each day from the inside out. Your life is not changed by grand declarations. It is changed by the small decisions you make every morning. The decision to write, the decision to think, the decision to plan, the decision to follow through. These are quiet actions, but they build loud results. They separate you from who you used to be, and with time they make you unrecognizable to the old version of yourself, who lived with scattered thoughts and unclear direction. Writing your thoughts and planning your actions is not just a habit, it is a way of living, a way of leading yourself with wisdom, clarity, and calm. The more you do it, the more your life reflects the strength of your mind. You no longer feel lost in the chaos of the day. You begin it with a steady hand and a clear head, and that is a powerful place to live from. Chapter 5. Train your body and build mental toughness daily. Your body listens to how you live. Every choice you make, how you move, how you eat, how you rest, sends a message to your brain about what kind of life you are committed to. A weak body teaches your mind to accept limitation. A strong body teaches your mind to expect resilience. This is not about building muscles for appearance. It's about building discipline through movement. Every push-up, every step, every drop of sweat, these aren't just physical acts. They are reminders that you can do hard things, that you can keep going when it's uncomfortable, and that discomfort is not your enemy. Training your body is one of the most direct paths to building mental strength. When your legs burn and your chest tightens and you want to stop, but you keep going anyway, something changes in your mind. You stop backing down so easily. You stop telling yourself excuses. You start facing resistance with a new attitude. Physical effort forces you to confront your inner voice, the one that always says, "This is too much," or "You can do this later," or "You don't need to push that hard." But every time you go beyond that voice, you rewire your belief system. You stop identifying as someone who avoids challenge and start becoming someone who thrives in it. You don't need fancy equipment or a gym membership to train. You need consistency. You need to show up even when you don't feel like it. You need to move your body every single day with purpose. Stretch, walk, run, lift, climb stairs, do bodyweight exercises. The method doesn't matter as much as the message you're sending to yourself. I don't negotiate with laziness. I don't shrink from discomfort. I don't wait until I feel motivated. I act because it's who I am becoming. The real benefit of daily physical training is not the body you build, but the person you become in the process. You develop a tolerance for pain. You build patience with slow progress. You cultivate focus when your mind wants to wander. And more importantly, you build proof that you can trust yourself, that you do what you said you would do, that you follow through even when it's hard. This proof becomes the foundation of confidence, not the loud, fake kind, but the quiet, unshakable kind that says, I faced myself and I didn't flinch. Training also sharpens your presence. It forces you into the moment. When your muscles ache and your heart pounds, you're not thinking about distractions or what someone said yesterday. You are here now, and in that raw moment, you access a part of yourself that is pure, focused, alive. That state of mind doesn't end when the workout ends. It follows you into your work, your relationships, your habits. It becomes your new normal. You start meeting challenges with calm effort, not panic. You stop hesitating and start attacking what needs to be done. Some days you'll feel tired. Some days you'll be tempted to skip it. And some days you'll want to take it easy and go through the motions. But those are the days that define your character. Anyone can train when they feel inspired. Real growth happens when you show up without energy, without excitement, without external reward, and still give everything you have. That's when you learn that you are not led by feeling. You are led by decision. You are no longer waiting for conditions to be perfect. You are creating progress in imperfect conditions. There is a reason people who train consistently seem sharper mentally. The body and mind are connected. When your body gets stronger, your mind follows. When you teach your muscles to resist fatigue, your thoughts start resisting fear. When you become someone who seeks physical challenge, you start facing emotional challenges with the same courage. You build grit. You stop folding when pressure comes. You stop making everything emotional. You start moving forward with quiet power. The act of daily training also humbles you. It teaches you that growth takes time. It reminds you that progress is not always visible. Some days you'll feel stronger, other days you won't. But if you keep showing up, something inside you shifts. You become more grounded, more centered, more self-directed. This humility is powerful. It keeps you honest about your limits, while motivating you to expand them. It reminds you that nothing worth having comes quickly, but it's always worth earning. Training your body is also a form of gratitude. You're saying, I respect this body enough to use it fully. You're not treating it like a storage unit. You're treating it like a vessel for your potential. And the more you move, the more alive you feel. Stagnation invites depression. Movement creates energy. Your mind feeds off that energy. You stop waiting for momentum and start generating it. You stop being dragged by your day and start pushing through it with intention. Mental toughness is not built through theory. It's built through effort. It's built when you wake up sore and still move. When you're short on time and still prioritize it. When everything in you says to rest and you still train, not recklessly, but with discipline. This becomes a message to your brain. We don't collapse under pressure. We adjust. We show up. We keep going. And that message bleeds into every other area of your life. Over time, you begin to crave this daily fight. Not because you enjoy pain, but because you respect the process. You start to look forward to testing your limits. You learn that stress is not always negative. It can be a tool for growth. It can build you instead of breaking you. You start embracing the strain, the sweat, the stillness afterward. It becomes your time to check in with yourself. A daily meeting between who you are now and who you're becoming. This is not about comparison. You don't need to move like anyone else. Your journey is yours. What matters is that you push past your personal limits every day. That you do something difficult. that you reject comfort as a lifestyle, that you choose challenge, not because you have to, but because you know what it does to your spirit. Each rep, each step, each drop of effort is part of the transformation, not just of your body, but of your standards, your mindset, your identity. The world does not reward intention, it rewards execution. And execution becomes natural when you build a mind that doesn't flinch and a body that doesn't back down. That kind of strength doesn't come from wishing, it comes from doing, daily, quietly, relentlessly. You are not training for a look, you are training for a life. One where you can endure, one where you don't fear effort, one where you are prepared for adversity, one where your presence alone commands respect because you've earned it, rep by rep, day by day. The decision to train every day is the decision to stop living small, to stop hiding behind weakness, to stop pretending that comfort will lead to peace. Peace is not found in ease. It is earned through discipline, through structure, through effort. Train your body not to impress the world, but to remind yourself of what you're made of. Train your mind not to escape pressure, but to perform under it. This is how you build the version of yourself that doesn't just survive, it dominates. Chapter 6. Eat clean food and fuel your body with discipline. What you eat is a vote for the life you want. Every bite is a message to your body, your brain, and your future. You can't expect sharp thinking, steady energy, and emotional stability while feeding yourself with garbage. The body can't lie. If it's inflamed, bloated, fatigued, or unfocused, it's reacting to something, and more often than not, that something is the food you've been choosing. Your body isn't trying to betray you. It's trying to communicate with you. The question is, are you listening? Discipline with food is not about punishment or restriction. It's about clarity. It's about aligning your actions with the standards you say you have. If you say you want to live with energy, move with strength, and think with precision, then your meals must reflect that. You can't treat food like entertainment and expect it to function like fuel. You can't chase flavor at the expense of focus. And you can't keep choosing comfort food and expect discomfort in life to suddenly disappear. Eating clean is not about chasing perfection. It's about reclaiming control. Most people let cravings make their decisions. They don't eat to live, they eat to cope. Sugar becomes the escape. Fried food becomes the reward. Late-night snacking becomes a habit of avoidance. But when you stop seeing food as therapy and start seeing it as a tool, everything changes. You begin to ask yourself, what does my body need today? Not, what will distract me from how I feel? That shift is the foundation of a higher standard. You don't need a complicated diet, you need real food. Unprocessed, whole, nutrient-dense. Meals that are built with intention, protein that sustains, vegetables that nourish, fats that stabilize, carbs that serve performance, not addiction. The more simple your ingredients, the more powerful your results. Clean eating isn't flashy. It's not always fun, but it works. It strips away the fog. It restores energy. It brings your system back to baseline, and it reminds you that health is not found in a pill, a trend, or a cleanse. It's in your daily decisions. Eating with discipline builds self-respect. Every time you choose a nutrient-dense meal over a quick fix, you prove to yourself that you're not ruled by impulse. You confirm that your goals are stronger than your cravings, that you don't need food to manage emotions, you can handle them head-on. That you don't eat just because something is available, you eat because it serves a purpose. This type of behavior, repeated over time, builds a quiet pride, a deep internal confidence that says, "I don't settle, I nourish." Food affects more than your body. It shapes your brain. Your gut and your mind are deeply connected. Junk food doesn't just slow down your digestion, it slows down your thinking. It clouds your decisions. It makes it harder to stay patient, to stay calm, to stay disciplined in other areas. Clean food sharpens you. It supports your emotional regulation. It helps you recover faster, sleep better, and think more clearly. When you eat with intention, you act with intention, and that creates momentum in everything you do. The challenge is that clean eating doesn't give instant pleasure. It doesn't flood your brain with dopamine like sugar or fast food. It's not loud, it's subtle. The benefits build slowly, quietly, until one day you notice you're not crashing in the afternoon anymore. You're not bloated after meals. You're waking up with more clarity. You're going longer between meals without feeling desperate for energy. That's when it clicks. Discipline creates freedom. You're no longer trapped by hunger spikes, cravings, or guilt. You're fueled, not just fed. This lifestyle requires preparation. You can't leave your meals up to chance and expect consistency. You need structure. You need to know what you're eating before you get hungry. You need to remove the friction between you and good choices. That might mean meal prepping. That might mean cutting out certain foods from your environment entirely. That might mean learning to cook simple meals that don't tempt you to order out. Whatever it takes to protect your focus and energy, that's what discipline demands. You don't have to get it right every time, but you do have to stay intentional. If you slip, you get back on track without turning it into a crisis. You don't shame yourself. You don't spiral. You make your next meal count. That's how momentum is built. Not through all or nothing thinking, but through consistent redirection. Your success isn't measured by how perfect you are. It's measured by how quickly you return to your standard when you fall below it. Clean eating simplifies your life. You stop thinking about food all day. You're not distracted by cravings. You're not riding the roller coaster of sugar highs and energy crashes. You're stable. You're focused. You're calm. That stability creates mental space. It allows you to focus on your work, your relationships, your mission, without constantly negotiating with your appetite. This is the hidden benefit of food discipline. It gives your mind back. It makes room for what actually matters. You'll notice that the longer you eat clean, the less appealing junk food becomes. Your palate changes. Your body starts rejecting what once gave you comfort. And that's not because you've become boring. It's because you've raised your sensitivity to what true nourishment feels like. You can feel when something inflames you. You can sense when something depletes you. And that awareness becomes a superpower. You no longer eat out of habit. You eat with precision. This approach also teaches you something important. Self-care is not indulgence. It's not eating whatever you want just because you've had a tough day. Real self-care is preparation. It's eating in a way that supports your future self, not just your current emotions. When you eat with discipline, you're not just preventing illness, you're building capacity. You're saying, I want to be able to think clearly, move freely, and show up fully, not just now, but 5 years from now. You might feel pressure from others. You might hear things like, live a little, or it's just one bite. But the people who pressure you to lower your standards aren't living with the clarity you are building. They're chasing relief. You're building resilience. You're not judging them, but you're not following them either. You've chosen a different path, one that requires focus, consistency, and strength. And the rewards of that path are worth every moment of restraint. Discipline with food is a gateway. It's one of the first ways you prove to yourself that you can live with structure, that you can say no to yourself, that you can delay gratification. And once you build that muscle, you start applying it elsewhere. You budget better. You sleep earlier. You move more. You stop chasing highs and start building systems. And suddenly, your entire life begins to reflect the same clarity you brought to your meals. You are not just what you eat. You are how you eat. You are the level of respect you bring to your body every day. When you choose clean food, you're choosing energy over laziness, presence over fog, strength over weakness. You're telling yourself, I am worth the effort it takes to feel good. And that single act, repeated every day, can change not just how you look, but how you think, how you move, and how you lead. This is not a diet, this is a decision. And the more often you choose it, the more powerful you become. Chapter 7. Speak less often, and listen with full attention. Most people hear, but very few actually listen, and fewer still listen with the kind of attention that changes the way they understand the world. Speaking is easy. It takes almost no discipline. You can speak from emotion, from habit, from ego. But listening, that takes effort. That takes control. That takes a willingness to put your own thoughts aside for long enough to fully absorb what's in front of you. And that's rare. You don't need to say everything you think. Silence is not weakness. In fact, it's often the most powerful stance you can take. It keeps you from giving away your position too soon. It allows you to watch what others reveal when you're not the one leading the conversation. The quieter you become, the more information you gather. The more you listen, the more clearly you see what's beneath the surface. Everyone reveals something when they speak. What they fear, what they value, what they don't understand. And if you're too busy waiting for your turn to talk, you'll miss it all. Restraint is a skill. The urge to respond, to correct, to share your own story, to insert your opinion, that urge is strong. But strength isn't about giving in to every impulse. It's about choosing when to engage and when to observe. People who talk constantly often miss the mark. They repeat themselves. They reveal too much. They waste their energy proving things that don't need to be proven. They try to dominate instead of understand, and they end up misunderstood. When you speak less, your words start to carry more weight. People notice that when you do say something, it's deliberate, it's clear, it's intentional. You've taken the time to process, to reflect, to decide whether it's even necessary to speak at all. That kind of presence doesn't come from just knowing what to say. It comes from knowing when to stay quiet. It comes from realizing that not every situation needs your input. Sometimes, your silence is the most respectful response you can give. Listening isn't passive, it's active. It requires your full focus. Your body might be in the room, but if your mind is racing ahead, trying to plan what you'll say next, you're not really listening. You're just waiting. Real listening means you're not thinking about yourself at all. You're not filtering their words through your judgments, your assumptions, or your agenda. You're giving them the space to be fully heard, and that, in today's world, is rare enough to be powerful. The more you listen, the better your judgment becomes. You begin to notice patterns in people's words. You recognize inconsistencies, hesitations, emphasis. You begin to understand not just what they're saying, but what they're trying not to say. You pick up on tone, timing, subtext, and you start to develop a sharper instinct for truth. Not because someone told you what's real, but because you trained yourself to notice. You also realize how often people talk to be seen, not to connect. They use words to prove worth, to gain approval, to protect ego. But if you don't need that from them, if you can sit quietly and let them talk, they will eventually show you who they really are. You don't have to dig, you just have to stay still. Let them fill the silence. Let them reveal themselves. People are more honest when they don't feel challenged. Your silence can make them comfortable enough to say what they didn't plan to say. And in that silence, you learn, you grow. You sharpen your thinking. You absorb information, tone, energy. You watch how people behave when they believe you're not judging them. That's when they're most themselves. And when you finally do speak, you speak from a place of understanding, not assumption. Your words come from clarity, not reaction. That's what gives your voice power, not volume, not speed, not intensity, but timing, precision, relevance. There's also a kind of discipline in knowing that not every thought deserves to be shared. Some things are better left unsaid, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Not every opinion needs to be voiced. Not every disagreement needs to be debated. Sometimes letting things pass is the smarter move. You're not avoiding conflict. You're choosing your battles. You're saving your energy for what truly matters. And in doing so, you build the kind of quiet strength that speaks louder than words ever could. Listening also improves your relationships. People trust those who make them feel heard. They feel safer around those who don't interrupt, who don't rush to judge, who don't always need to be right. When someone knows you're really listening, they open up, they let down their guard, and in that space, real connection happens. Not the surface level kind, but the kind built on mutual respect, and you can't fake that. It only comes from presence. It takes humility to listen. It takes patience to stay quiet when you want to speak. It takes maturity to resist the urge to dominate a conversation. But that restraint builds character. It teaches you that your value doesn't come from how much you say, but from how well you understand. You don't need to be the loudest voice in the room. You just need to be the one who hears everything. You also notice that when you speak less, your inner voice becomes stronger. You're not constantly reacting. You're reflecting. You're thinking more deeply. You're making space for new insights to come in. Silence becomes your ally. It clears the noise. It allows you to return to your own thoughts with more clarity. It strengthens your sense of who you are and what you actually believe, not just what you've absorbed from others. In a world that rewards fast opinions and constant commentary, choosing to speak less is a rebellion. It's a way of saying, I don't need to perform. I don't need to be seen all the time. I'm here to observe, to learn, to act when it matters. That kind of presence is rare. It's powerful, it's memorable. And it doesn't require you to say much. Just enough. At the right time. In the right tone. For the right reason. So, start practicing. Pause before you speak. Ask yourself if what you're about to say adds value or just noise. Listen fully, not just to the words, but to what's underneath. Pay attention to what's being said between the lines. Let silence be your teacher. Let patience shape your responses. And remember, you don't need to fill every moment with your voice. Sometimes the most intelligent thing you can do is simply stay quiet and listen with everything you've got. That's where real wisdom begins. Chapter 8. Set clear goals and track your daily progress. Clarity in life begins with clear goals. Without a defined destination, energy scatters and effort dissipates. Goals are not just wishes or vague desires. They are concrete targets that give your actions direction and meaning. When you set clear goals, you decide exactly what you want, why you want it, and how you will measure success. This clarity turns chaos into order and confusion into focus. It transforms a drifting existence into a purposeful journey. Many people avoid setting clear goals because they fear failure or commitment. They prefer to keep things loose and undefined to protect themselves from disappointment. But in reality, undefined goals are hidden obstacles. They cause hesitation and lack of follow-through. Without a clear goal, there is no standard to evaluate progress or make decisions. You end up reacting to life rather than directing it. To become unrecognizable in 21 days, this cycle must break now. The first step to setting clear goals is to write them down. The physical act of writing transforms vague intentions into tangible commitments. It forces your brain to clarify what success looks like. Be specific. Instead of saying, "I want to get fit," say, "I want to run 3 miles without stopping in 21 days. Instead of saying, "I want to save money," say, "I want to save $500 in 21 days by cutting unnecessary expenses." The more precise the goal, the easier it is to stay focused. Once your goals are clear, break them into small, manageable actions. Large goals often feel overwhelming. That's why people procrastinate or quit. But when you divide your goal into daily steps, progress becomes achievable and consistent. Each small action is a building block. It doesn't matter how small it seems. What matters is that it moves you forward. Consistency beats intensity every time. Showing up every day is how momentum builds. Tracking progress is the second key to transformation. You can't improve what you don't measure. Tracking gives you real-time feedback on your efforts. It reveals patterns that help you adjust your actions. It keeps you honest with yourself. Without tracking, motivation fluctuates because you don't see results clearly. Progress becomes invisible, and discouragement takes over. A simple journal, spreadsheet, or app can serve this purpose. The important part is daily commitment. Every evening, review what you accomplished. Did you complete your daily tasks? What went well? What didn't? Be honest, but not harsh. The goal is to learn, not to punish. Use this reflection to plan the next day's actions. This cycle of action and reflection keeps you adaptive and forward-moving. It prevents stagnation and self-deception. It creates a feedback loop that strengthens your habits and sharpens your focus. Setting goals and tracking progress also teach discipline. When you commit to this process, you stop drifting. You stop making excuses. You stop blaming external circumstances. You own your growth. This ownership is empowering. It shifts you from victim to leader of your own life. And that mindset shift is one of the most powerful changes you can make in 21 days. Goals also create motivation, but it's not the fleeting kind. It's rooted in purpose and clarity. You wake up knowing exactly what you're working toward. You don't waste energy on distractions or irrelevant tasks. You prioritize what matters because your goals demand it. Motivation becomes natural because you're no longer chasing vague desires. You're fulfilling commitments you've made to yourself. Tracking your progress also boosts confidence. Each completed task is proof that you can follow through. Each day of success builds your belief in your ability to change. Even small wins accumulate into a powerful narrative about who you are becoming. This narrative replaces doubt with certainty. It pushes you to aim higher and stay persistent, even when challenges arise. Another benefit of this process is accountability to yourself. When you document your actions and results, you become your own coach and judge. There's no hiding behind excuses or distractions. You see clearly where you succeeded and where you need improvement. This self-awareness sharpens decision-making. It prevents repeating the same mistakes and it reinforces the habit of responsibility that fuels all lasting change. Setting goals and tracking progress aren't just about achievements, they are about growth in character. They teach patience because transformation takes time. They teach resilience because setbacks are inevitable. They teach humility because you learn to accept where you are while striving for more. And they teach persistence because daily commitment is non-negotiable. These lessons build the foundation for becoming unrecognizable in 21 days. This process also eliminates overwhelm. When your goals are clear and your daily tasks defined, you don't feel scattered. You don't face a mountain of uncertainty. You see a clear path laid out in front of you. This clarity reduces anxiety and increases productivity. It helps you focus on one step at a time without losing sight of the bigger picture. Progress becomes less intimidating and more manageable. It's important to revisit and adjust your goals when necessary. Flexibility doesn't mean giving up. It means being smart. Sometimes you discover that a goal needs refining or that your approach needs tweaking. Tracking progress reveals these insights. Adjustments keep you aligned with your true priorities and realities. They prevent burnout and frustration. This adaptive mindset is crucial for sustained growth. Finally, setting clear goals and tracking your progress is a commitment to yourself. It's a promise that you will take control of your life, that you won't leave your future to chance or wishful thinking. It's a declaration that you value your time and energy enough to invest them wisely, and it's the key step that turns desire into reality. Without this discipline, transformation remains a dream. With it, transformation becomes your new identity. Start today by writing down your most important goal for the next 21 days. Break it into daily tasks. Track every effort. Reflect every night. Adjust as needed. Watch how this simple, consistent practice changes your life. It moves you from confusion to clarity, from inertia to action, from who you were to who you are becoming. This is the power of clear goals and daily progress. This is how you become unrecognizable. Chapter 9. Remove toxic people and protect your inner peace. Some people bring light into your life. Others bring shadows that drain your energy and cloud your mind. Recognizing who falls into which category is crucial for personal growth. Toxic people are those who consistently create drama, disrespect boundaries, or diminish your sense of self. They sap your motivation and disturb your peace. Protecting your inner peace begins with the courage to identify and remove these negative influences from your life. It's easy to get trapped in relationships that no longer serve you. Familiarity, guilt, or fear of confrontation keep you tethered to people who chip away at your confidence and joy. But clinging to these connections comes at a high cost. Toxicity erodes mental clarity and emotional stability. It wears you down slowly, like a constant background noise that you learn to ignore but that keeps you off balance. The longer you tolerate it, the harder it becomes to focus on your goals and build resilience. Understanding what toxicity looks like is the first step to reclaiming your peace. Toxic behavior often includes manipulation, constant negativity, judgment, criticism, and lack of support. These individuals may try to control your choices, belittle your achievements, or pull you into unnecessary conflict. They rarely celebrate your successes and often highlight your weaknesses. This creates a cycle where your self-worth diminishes and your anxiety rises. Awareness of these signs allows you to take action instead of suffering in silence. Removing toxic people is not about harshness or revenge. It's about self-preservation and growth. It's a firm but compassionate decision to stop allowing others to dictate your emotional state. Setting boundaries becomes non-negotiable. You must communicate clearly what behavior you will no longer accept, and be prepared to enforce those limits. This might mean limiting contact, avoiding certain topics, or in some cases cutting ties entirely. Boundaries protect your energy and create space for healthier relationships. This process requires bravery because it disrupts old patterns. Toxic people often resist change and may escalate their behavior when you pull away. You might face guilt, manipulation attempts, or emotional blackmail, but remember, your primary responsibility is to yourself. No one else can do this work for you. Removing toxicity is an act of self-respect. It signals that you value your growth more than temporary comfort or approval. Inner peace is a fragile resource that must be guarded fiercely. When you remove negativity, you create room for calm, focus, and clarity. You regain control over your emotional environment. This peace is not about avoiding conflict entirely, but about choosing what is worth your energy. It's about not reacting impulsively to drama and learning to stay grounded regardless of external chaos. Protecting your peace strengthens your resilience against future challenges. You'll find that when toxic influences are removed, your energy levels improve. Your mind becomes less cluttered with worry or resentment. Your emotions stabilize, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This clarity creates space for growth, creativity, and meaningful connection. You begin to attract people who uplift rather than drain you. Your relationships become more supportive and fulfilling. Removing toxic people also helps you cultivate self-awareness. It forces you to reflect on why you tolerated negativity in the first place. Were you afraid of being alone? Did you doubt your worth? Did you mistake drama for love or loyalty? Answering these questions honestly uncovers limiting beliefs that hold you back. Healing begins with understanding yourself deeply and recognizing that your peace is your birthright, not a luxury. It's important to remember that you can't change others. You can only change how you respond. Trying to fix toxic people often drains your spirit and leaves you feeling powerless. Acceptance means acknowledging their limitations without internalizing their behavior. This detachment doesn't mean indifference, but rather a healthy separation. You protect yourself by not absorbing their negativity or taking their actions personally. As you remove toxic influences, you may face loneliness or uncertainty. This is a natural part of growth. Old connections fade, but new, healthier ones will eventually form. This transition requires patience and trust in the process. Use this time to deepen your relationship with yourself. Practice self-care, mindfulness, and reflection. Build a life that nurtures your peace rather than threatens it. This discipline of protecting your inner peace also involves daily choices. It means monitoring your reactions and managing your emotional boundaries continuously. Sometimes toxicity creeps in subtly through gossip, passive aggression, or envy. Stay vigilant. Refuse to engage in conversations or behaviors that disrupt your calm. Cultivate environments that promote positivity and growth. Surround yourself with people who encourage your best self. Protecting your peace means saying no to situations that leave you drained or anxious. It means valuing your time and energy as finite resources. You learn to prioritize your well-being over pleasing others or avoiding discomfort. This shift may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to sacrificing yourself for harmony. But true harmony comes from balance, not from suppressing your needs. You'll also discover that inner peace strengthens your decision-making. When your mind is clear, you think with more precision. You make choices aligned with your values rather than emotional reactivity. This clarity improves your relationships, career, and personal goals. You become less dependent on external validation because your center is strong. This independence is essential for becoming unrecognizable in the best way. The journey to removing toxicity and protecting peace is ongoing. It requires constant attention and willingness to reevaluate your relationships and environments. Toxicity can reappear in unexpected ways. Guarding your peace means developing emotional intelligence and resilience. It means not settling for less than you deserve. It means living with intention and refusing to be dragged down by negativity. Ultimately, protecting your inner peace is a gift you give yourself. It's a declaration that you are worth respect, calm, and happiness. It's the foundation upon which all other growth is built. When you surround yourself with positivity and remove toxicity, you free your mind and heart to become stronger, wiser, and more focused. You create a life that reflects your highest values and deepest potential. This freedom is essential to becoming unrecognizable in 21 days and beyond. Chapter 10. Face your fears and take one bold action. Fear is a universal experience, but it does not have to control your life. It often disguises itself as hesitation, doubt, or discomfort, holding you back from opportunities and growth. The moment you face your fears head-on, you reclaim your power. Fear loses its grip when met with action. Boldness is not the absence of fear, but the choice to move forward despite it. This single choice can change everything. Everyone has fears, some visible, others hidden deep inside. They might be fears of failure, rejection, embarrassment, or the unknown. These fears form invisible barriers that limit potential. When you avoid these feelings, they grow stronger. They feed on uncertainty and avoidance, making it harder to step outside your comfort zone. But growth demands discomfort. Facing fear is the bridge to transformation. Taking one bold action doesn't mean you must overhaul your entire life overnight. It means identifying a step that challenges your fear and choosing to move forward anyway. This action may be small: a difficult conversation, applying for a new job, starting a project, or simply saying yes to something unfamiliar. The key is to act deliberately. Bold action is purposeful, not reckless. It's about building courage one step at a time. When you confront fear directly, you begin to break its power. Each act of courage shrinks the shadow that fear casts. It rewires your brain to associate discomfort with growth instead of danger. You develop resilience. You learn that the worst-case scenario is rarely as bad as your mind imagines. This realization transforms fear from a stop sign into a signal for opportunity. Bold action also changes your self-perception. Instead of seeing yourself as someone who avoids challenges, you see yourself as capable and strong. You build confidence from experience, not from imagined scenarios. This confidence compounds, making subsequent fears easier to face. Courage becomes a habit rather than a rare event. This shift is essential to becoming unrecognizable in 21 days. It's normal to feel uncertainty before taking bold steps. Fear triggers a fight, flight, or freeze response. The body prepares to protect you, but your mind can override this instinct. Awareness is the first step. Notice the physical sensations and thoughts that arise. Accept them without judgment, then choose to act anyway. This practice strengthens your mental toughness and emotional control. Preparing for bold action involves mental rehearsal. Visualize the situation and your response. Imagine possible outcomes and how you will handle them. This preparation reduces anxiety and increases readiness. It creates a roadmap that makes action less intimidating. Mental rehearsal doesn't eliminate fear, but provides a framework to manage it effectively. Accountability accelerates facing fear. Share your intention with someone you trust. Make a commitment to act by a specific time. This external pressure adds motivation and reduces procrastination. It also creates a support system in case challenges arise. Knowing someone else is aware of your goal increases your likelihood of follow-through. Remember, failure is part of the process, not the end. Bold action may not always lead to immediate success. Setbacks are opportunities to learn and adjust. Each attempt builds experience and insight. Persistence in the face of failure develops character and determination. This mindset keeps you moving forward instead of retreating into safety. Taking bold action rewires your identity. You start to see yourself as a doer rather than a dreamer. You shift from imagining change to creating change. This transformation reflects in all areas of life. Your relationships, work and personal growth accelerate. People notice your new confidence and energy. Your life begins to align with the person you aspire to be. Fear can also serve as a compass. What scares you most often points to what matters most. Avoiding these fears limits your potential in the areas that could bring the greatest fulfillment. Bold action guided by this insight aligns your life with your deepest values. You don't just face fear randomly, you confront what stands between you and your highest goals. Taking one bold action daily creates momentum. Momentum turns hesitation into habit. It builds a chain reaction of courage. Small victories inspire larger ones. This process breaks the cycle of fear and inaction. It replaces it with progress and empowerment. Momentum is the force that turns intention into reality. The process of facing fear and taking bold action requires self-compassion. Courage is not about perfection. It's about willingness. It's normal to feel vulnerable. Being kind to yourself in these moments sustains motivation. Self-criticism drains energy and increases resistance. Support yourself as you would support a friend. Embarking on change. Embrace discomfort as a sign of growth. Fear and discomfort are signals that you are expanding your limits. Rather than avoid these feelings, use them as markers that you are on the right path. This perspective shifts your relationship with fear from enemy to ally. It allows you to welcome challenges instead of dreading them. In practice, identify a fear that limits you now. Break it down into manageable parts. Choose one step that feels challenging but doable. Commit to taking that step within 24 hours. Reflect afterward on what you learned. Adjust your approach for the next action. Repeat this process daily. This cycle creates rapid growth and transforms fear into fuel. Facing fears with action is a form of mastery. It shows you that you control your life, not your anxieties. It builds inner strength that no external circumstance can shake. This strength becomes a foundation for lifelong resilience and success. It enables you to respond to life's uncertainties with calm and confidence. You may notice that as you take bold steps, your perspective on fear changes. It becomes less about danger and more about opportunity. The adrenaline of challenge becomes a source of energy rather than panic. You start to seek growth rather than avoid discomfort. This transformation is profound and liberating. Taking one bold action also improves your decision-making. Fear often clouds judgment. It creates paralysis or impulsivity. When you act deliberately despite fear, you develop clarity and control. You learn to balance caution with courage. This skill improves every choice you make, creating better outcomes in all areas of life. Fear will never disappear completely. It's a natural human emotion that serves a purpose. But you don't have to be its prisoner. You can choose to act with courage and create the life you want. This choice is the essence of transformation. It's what separates those who stay stuck from those who become unrecognizable in 21 days. Begin now. Identify your fear. Choose one bold action that challenges it. Take that step. Feel the discomfort, but also the power that comes with facing it. Reflect on your growth. Prepare for the next challenge. This daily practice rewires your mind and reshapes your life. It builds a new identity grounded in courage and action. Your fears are not roadblocks, but invitations. They invite you to grow, to evolve, and to prove to yourself what you are capable of. Answer that invitation with boldness. Take one step today that your fear wants to stop you from taking. That step is your breakthrough. It is the start of becoming unrecognizable, not because you hide who you are, but because you become who you were always meant to be. Chapter 11. Break bad habits and create strong new routines. Breaking bad habits is essential for real transformation. Habits are the invisible architecture of our daily lives. They shape our actions, define our character, and ultimately determine our success. Bad habits, no matter how small, slowly drain energy, focus, and progress. They act like chains that limit freedom and growth. To become unrecognizable in 21 days, those chains must be broken and replaced with strong routines that support your goals and values. The first step in breaking bad habits is awareness. Often, habits operate below conscious thought. They are automatic responses triggered by environments, emotions, or cues. Without noticing these triggers, it's difficult to change behavior. Start paying close attention to your daily actions. Identify the moments when you fall into unproductive or harmful patterns. Whether it's procrastination, negative self-talk, unhealthy eating, or distractions, pinpointing these moments creates a foundation for change. Once you recognize the habit, understand its root cause. Every habit serves a purpose. Even if it's destructive, it may provide temporary comfort, distraction, or relief from stress. Recognizing the need behind the habit allows you to address it directly rather than just suppressing symptoms. For example, if stress leads to overeating, managing stress becomes a priority rather than focusing solely on food. This deeper understanding prevents relapse and builds sustainable change. Replacing bad habits with strong new routines is more effective than relying on willpower alone. Willpower is a limited resource that depletes with use. Instead, design your environment and schedule to support positive habits. Create daily rituals that become automatic over time. When a new behavior becomes as natural as brushing your teeth, it no longer requires effort or decision-making. This shift from conscious struggle to unconscious habit is the key to lasting transformation. Consistency is the backbone of habit formation. Small actions repeated daily build momentum and create neural pathways in the brain. These pathways make the behavior easier and more natural over time. Focus on progress rather than perfection. Missing a day is not failure, but an opportunity to recommit. Celebrate small wins and use setbacks as learning moments. The process of building new habits is gradual and requires patience. Structure your day to minimize temptation and increase success. Remove triggers that lead to bad habits. If you want to stop wasting time on social media, limit access by deleting apps or setting strict time limits. If unhealthy snacks sabotage your nutrition, clear your kitchen of junk food. Adjust your environment to make positive choices the easy ones. This proactive strategy reduces reliance on self-control and increases chances of success. Tracking your habits strengthens accountability and motivation. Use a journal, app, or simple checklist to record daily actions. Visual progress builds confidence and keeps your goals in focus. Review your patterns regularly to identify what's working and what needs adjustment. This feedback loop helps refine routines and prevents complacency. When you see consistent improvement, it fuels your determination to keep going. Creating strong routines also involves prioritizing rest and recovery. Overworking or neglecting self-care undermines habit formation. Sleep, nutrition, and mental breaks recharge your energy and support focus. When your body and mind are nourished, it's easier to resist old habits and sustain new ones. Routine is not about rigid discipline alone, but about balance and renewal. Incorporate cues and rewards to reinforce positive habits. A cue might be a specific time of day, location, or preceding action that triggers the behavior. Rewards create positive associations that motivate repetition. For instance, after completing a workout, reward yourself with a relaxing shower or a favorite healthy snack. These psychological anchors help cement the new routine and make it enjoyable rather than a chore. Be prepared for resistance and setbacks. Habit change challenges the brain's comfort zones and automatic responses. It's normal to experience cravings, doubts, or moments of weakness. Recognize these as signs of growth rather than failure. Develop strategies to cope, such as deep breathing, shifting focus, or seeking support from others. Persistence through discomfort is essential for breaking old patterns. Social support plays a vital role in habit transformation. Share your goals with trusted friends or mentors who encourage your progress. Join communities or groups with similar objectives. Accountability partners provide encouragement, advice, and reminders during difficult moments. Positive social environments reinforce your commitment and create a sense of belonging that strengthens motivation. Avoid multitasking or rushing through new routines. Quality matters more than quantity. Focus fully on each habit until it feels natural, before adding new ones. Overloading yourself leads to burnout and failure. Build a strong foundation gradually. Deep engagement with each routine embeds it deeply in your daily life. Mindset is crucial throughout this process. View habit change as an act of self-love and empowerment. You are not punishing yourself, but investing in a better future. Replace self-criticism with self-compassion. Encourage yourself as you would a friend. This positive internal dialogue increases resilience and sustains long-term growth. Celebrate milestones and reflect on your journey. Acknowledge how far you've come rather than fixating only on what remains. Reflection builds awareness and gratitude. It also fuels motivation to continue evolving. This ongoing cycle of action, reflection, and celebration creates a powerful momentum that transforms your identity. Breaking bad habits and creating strong routines is not a one-time event, but a lifelong commitment. The process sharpens discipline, enhances focus, and fosters self-mastery. It frees mental space and energy for meaningful pursuits. This transformation is at the core of becoming unrecognizable in 21 days. When you control your habits, you control your life. Start by choosing one bad habit to break today. Analyze its triggers and underlying needs. Design a positive routine to replace it. Commit to daily consistency, track your progress, and seek support. Prepare for challenges and respond with persistence and kindness toward yourself. Over time, watch how these deliberate actions reshape your daily experience and your future. The power to change is within you. Every moment presents a new opportunity to build habits that serve your highest goals. By breaking old patterns and crafting strong routines, you reclaim control and step into your fullest potential. This journey requires courage, patience, and dedication. But the rewards are profound and lasting. Your new life begins with the choices you make today. Chapter 12. Read every day and learn something truly useful. Reading daily is a powerful habit that fuels continuous growth and expands your understanding of the world. When you commit to learning something truly useful every day, you open doors to new perspectives, skills, and wisdom that shape your decisions and actions. This habit goes beyond entertainment or casual browsing. It's about purposeful reading that enriches your mind and strengthens your capacity to improve. Consistent learning builds momentum toward transformation. The first step is choosing material that challenges and educates you. Not all reading is equally valuable for growth. Seek books, articles, or resources that align with your goals and offer practical insights. Whether it's personal development, your profession, or a new skill, targeted reading ensures that your time spent turns into actionable knowledge. This focus keeps your mind sharp and prevents distraction by irrelevant or superficial content. Daily reading cultivates discipline and focus. It trains your mind to concentrate amid modern distractions. Starting with even 10 minutes a day builds stamina. Gradually increase this time to deepen comprehension and retention. This steady rhythm transforms reading from a task into a rewarding habit. When reading becomes a regular part of your routine, it integrates seamlessly with other self-improvement practices. Absorbing useful information requires active engagement. Don't just passively read words on a page. Take notes, underline key ideas, and reflect on how the knowledge applies to your life. Ask questions. How can this improve my habits? What new strategies can I implement? What mistakes can I avoid? This interactive approach turns reading into a conversation between you and the material, deepening understanding. Learning every day also encourages curiosity and openness. Exposure to different viewpoints broadens your thinking. It challenges assumptions and prevents stagnation. This mental flexibility helps you adapt to change and solve problems creatively. In an ever-evolving world, the ability to learn and grow continuously is essential for resilience and success. Reading consistently improves vocabulary and communication skills. It enhances your ability to express ideas clearly and confidently. These skills impact all areas of life, from relationships to career advancement. Clear communication builds trust and influence. It helps you advocate for yourself and inspire others. To maximize the benefits of daily reading, create a dedicated space and time for it. Minimize distractions and immerse yourself fully in the material. This ritual signals your brain that reading is a priority. Over time, this habit strengthens your identity as a learner and thinker. The consistency creates a positive feedback loop that reinforces motivation. Don't limit yourself to one type of content. Diversify your reading list with non-fiction, biographies, essays, and instructional materials. Each genre offers unique lessons and perspectives. For example, biographies teach resilience through real-life stories, while instructional books provide tools for skill building. This variety keeps learning engaging and comprehensive. Incorporate reading with practical application. After learning new concepts, find ways to implement them immediately. Experiment, practice, and adjust. This hands-on approach solidifies knowledge and accelerates growth. Theory without action remains theoretical. Knowledge without application stalls progress. Surround yourself with like-minded readers. Join book clubs, online forums, or study groups. Discussing ideas enhances comprehension and exposes you to different interpretations. Social learning motivates accountability and creates a support system. Sharing insights fosters a deeper connection to the material and your goals. Reading every day also strengthens mental health. It offers a constructive escape from stress and negative thoughts. Immersing in knowledge provides perspective and hope. It nurtures optimism and a growth mindset. These mental benefits support emotional resilience, essential for transformation. Avoid overwhelming yourself with too much reading. Quality matters more than quantity. Select a few impactful sources rather than consuming large volumes of mediocre information. This selectivity ensures you absorb valuable lessons and prevents burnout. Intentional reading sharpens your focus on what truly matters. Set measurable reading goals to maintain progress. For instance, commit to a certain number of pages or chapters daily. Track your achievements and adjust targets as needed. This structured approach creates momentum and celebrates milestones. It turns reading into a rewarding challenge rather than a chore. Be patient with yourself during this process. Some material will be more difficult or less immediately relevant. Persist through these challenges, knowing that comprehension grows with time. The cumulative effect of consistent reading is profound. Even small daily steps compound into significant transformation. Remember, reading is not a competition, but a personal journey. Focus on depth rather than speed. Pause to absorb insights and revisit complex ideas. Reflection enhances memory and understanding. Integrate lessons into your mindset and behavior gradually. Adopting the habit of reading daily and learning useful things rewires your brain toward growth. It builds a foundation of knowledge and wisdom that supports all areas of life. This continuous improvement mindset empowers you to navigate challenges and seize opportunities confidently. Start today by selecting a book or resource that aligns with your goals. Dedicate time each day to read actively and thoughtfully. Apply what you learn and track your progress. Watch how this consistent habit sharpens your mind, expands your skills, and transforms your life step by step. This daily commitment to learning is a cornerstone of becoming unrecognizable. It deepens your insight, strengthens your resilience, and enhances your ability to create meaningful change. Through reading and purposeful learning, you invest in yourself and your future every day. Chapter 13. Say no often and honor your personal boundaries. Saying no is one of the most powerful acts of self-respect and self-care. It is essential for preserving your energy, maintaining focus, and protecting your time. Learning to say no often is not about being rude or selfish. It is about honoring your limits and prioritizing what truly matters. When you start respecting your personal boundaries, you create a foundation for sustainable growth and genuine happiness. Personal boundaries define what you will and will not accept in your life. These boundaries guard your emotional, physical, and mental well-being. Without clear boundaries, you risk overcommitting, feeling resentful, and losing sight of your goals. Boundaries help you say yes to yourself and no to distractions or demands that drain your resources. This clarity creates space for deeper focus and intentional living. Many people struggle to say no because of fear of disappointing others, fear of conflict, or fear of missing out. This fear often leads to automatic compliance, even when it goes against your best interest. But constantly saying yes to others erodes your strength and diminishes your sense of control. Recognizing that your yes has limits is the first step toward healthier interactions and a more balanced life. Honoring your boundaries requires awareness of your values, priorities, and limits. Take time to reflect on what is essential to you and where you need to draw lines. These lines might relate to too much time you dedicate to work, the kind of conversations you engage in, or how you allow others to treat you. Clear boundaries communicate your worth and establish the conditions for respectful relationships. Saying no often means practicing assertiveness. It's about communicating your needs honestly and respectfully, without guilt or over-explanation. You don't owe lengthy justifications for protecting your time or energy. A simple, firm no is often enough. This directness builds respect and prevents misunderstandings. It also sets a tone that your boundaries are non-negotiable. Setting boundaries is a skill that improves with practice. Start with small no's in low-stakes situations. Notice how it feels and observe the reactions of others. Over time, you will grow more confident and comfortable standing up for yourself. This progress strengthens your internal voice and reduces the power of external pressures. People who respect your boundaries create healthier and more supportive relationships. When you honor yourself, others learn to do the same. This mutual respect fosters trust and open communication. It also eliminates unhealthy dynamics like manipulation or exploitation. Strong boundaries invite authenticity and deepen connection. Sometimes saying no means confronting difficult emotions. You might feel guilt, anxiety, or loneliness when refusing requests. These feelings are natural but temporary. Remember that your well-being is not negotiable. Protecting your boundaries is an act of love, not selfishness. Overcoming emotional discomfort leads to greater freedom and peace. Boundaries also prevent burnout. Overcommitting to obligations or pleasing everyone leads to exhaustion and frustration. Regularly saying no preserves your energy for priorities that align with your purpose. This discipline enhances productivity and satisfaction. It allows you to invest fully in what matters most without feeling depleted. Honoring boundaries involves recognizing your limits clearly. It means listening to your body and mind for signs of stress or overwhelm. Respect those signals by adjusting commitments or stepping back when necessary. Self-awareness is critical to maintaining balance and preventing breakdowns. Your boundaries serve as an early warning system to protect your well-being. The ability to say no strengthens your decision-making. It clarifies what deserves your attention and what does not. This clarity reduces distractions and enhances focus. When your energy is directed intentionally, you achieve more meaningful results. Saying no is not rejection of opportunity, but an embrace of priority. It's important to set boundaries consistently. Inconsistency confuses others and weakens your message. Stand firm in your limits, even when pressured or challenged. Consistency reinforces your self-respect and trains others to honor you. It builds confidence and prevents boundary violations. Practice self-compassion throughout this process. Boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first because they challenge old habits of people-pleasing or avoidance. Be patient and kind to yourself as you navigate these changes. Celebrate your progress and learn from setbacks. This gentle approach sustains motivation and growth. Boundaries vary depending on the context and relationships. Some situations require stricter limits than others. Flexibility does not mean compromising your core values. It means adapting thoughtfully while maintaining respect for yourself. Evaluate each circumstance carefully and respond with integrity. Saying no is also about protecting your mental space. Avoid overloading your schedule or mind with unnecessary commitments or negative influences. Guard your thoughts by refusing toxic conversations or draining interactions. Mental boundaries are as vital as physical ones for sustaining clarity and calm. Effective boundary setting includes clear communication. Express your limits calmly and directly. Avoid apologizing excessively or making excuses. Use I statements to own your needs without blaming others. This communication style reduces defensiveness and invites understanding. Boundaries also involve saying yes selectively. Saying no creates the space to say yes to what truly matters. It prioritizes opportunities and relationships that nurture your growth and happiness. This intentional yes leads to greater fulfillment and purpose. When you honor your boundaries, you model healthy behavior for others. You teach friends, family, and colleagues how to treat you. This modeling encourages others to set and respect their boundaries as well. It creates a culture of respect and authenticity around you. Saying no often and honoring boundaries is a continuous practice. Life changes, and so do your limits. Regularly reassess what you need to protect your well-being. Adjust boundaries as necessary while maintaining your core values. This adaptability ensures your boundaries remain effective and relevant. This practice cultivates emotional independence. You become less reliant on others' approval and more centered in your own worth. This internal security fuels confidence and resilience. It enables you to navigate challenges with grace and strength. Boundaries help you focus on your personal growth without distraction. They create the mental and emotional space needed to pursue goals deeply. This focus accelerates progress and enhances satisfaction. Boundaries free you to become the person you intend to be. Start today by identifying one area where you need stronger boundaries. Practice saying no clearly and kindly in that situation. Reflect on how it feels and what changes it creates. Build from this experience with increasing confidence and consistency. Your ability to say no and honor your boundaries is a cornerstone of transformation. It protects your energy, clarifies your focus, and strengthens your self-respect. This practice lays the groundwork for becoming unrecognizable in 21 days. It empowers you to live intentionally and fully on your own terms. Chapter 14. Embrace discomfort and grow through daily challenges. Growth never happens without discomfort. Every meaningful change requires stepping beyond familiar comfort zones and facing challenges that stretch your mind and spirit. Discomfort is the signal that you are evolving, not failing. By embracing it daily, you activate the process of transformation that leads to strength, resilience, and progress. Avoiding discomfort stalls growth. Welcoming it accelerates it. Challenges test your limits and reveal areas for improvement. They expose weaknesses, but also unlock hidden strengths. When you face obstacles head-on, you gain valuable experience that no comfort can provide. Each challenge is a lesson disguised as difficulty. Learning to see discomfort as a necessary part of growth shifts your mindset from resistance to acceptance. Discomfort often triggers fear or avoidance. It is natural to want ease and security, but resisting discomfort leads to stagnation. Growth demands movement through uncertainty and pain. The difference between those who improve and those who stay stuck is their willingness to endure temporary hardship for lasting gain. Facing daily challenges builds mental toughness. This toughness is not about suppressing feelings, but about developing emotional control and perseverance. You learn to tolerate frustration, manage stress, and keep going despite setbacks. Over time, this resilience becomes second nature. It transforms challenges from threats into opportunities for strength. Discomfort also teaches humility and patience. Change rarely happens instantly. It requires consistent effort and the acceptance of gradual progress. When you embrace this process, you develop compassion for yourself during difficult moments. You stop expecting perfection and instead appreciate steady growth. Daily challenges provide a practical way to practice embracing discomfort, whether it's waking early, confronting fears, or pushing through physical fatigue. These actions train your mind to handle adversity. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to face larger challenges in life. This preparation builds confidence and reduces fear of the unknown. Growth through discomfort requires shifting your perspective on failure. Setbacks and mistakes are inevitable on the path to improvement. Instead of viewing failure as defeat, see it as feedback. Each failure contains information to guide your next steps. This mindset encourages experimentation and continuous learning. Learning to sit with discomfort rather than immediately seeking relief strengthens self-discipline. Modern culture often promotes instant gratification and avoidance of pain. Resisting this urge trains your mind to tolerate short-term discomfort for long-term rewards. This discipline applies not only to personal growth, but to every goal you pursue. Discomfort also reveals your values and priorities. When faced with difficult choices, your willingness to endure pain reflects what matters most. Embracing challenges aligned with your purpose strengthens motivation and commitment. It clarifies your path and deepens your resolve. Physical discomfort is often the most tangible form of challenge. Activities like exercise, cold exposure, or fasting push the body beyond its comfort zone. These practices build stamina and increase tolerance to stress. Physical resilience supports mental and emotional toughness, creating a holistic foundation for growth. Mental discomfort arises from confronting limiting beliefs, doubts, or fears. This inner resistance can be the hardest to overcome. Mindfulness and reflection help you observe these thoughts without judgment. Over time, this awareness reduces their power and allows you to choose constructive actions instead of avoidance. Social discomfort can come from setting boundaries, speaking up, or facing rejection. These experiences test your confidence and authenticity. Embracing social challenges fosters personal integrity and deeper relationships. It strengthens your ability to connect genuinely without fear of judgment. Growth through discomfort requires self-compassion. Being kind to yourself during difficult moments sustains motivation. It prevents burnout and discouragement. Treat discomfort as a sign of progress rather than punishment. Celebrate your courage to face it daily. Creating a supportive environment aids in embracing challenges. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth and hold you accountable. Positive influences inspire resilience and provide encouragement during tough times. Avoid toxic environments that promote complacency or fear. Set clear intentions for embracing discomfort. Define what areas of your life you want to challenge and grow. This clarity focuses your efforts and helps measure progress. Intentional discomfort becomes a tool rather than a random hardship. Journaling can be a valuable practice for processing discomfort and reflecting on growth. Writing about your experiences clarifies insights and strengthens resolve. It also tracks progress, reminding you of how far you've come despite challenges. Celebrate small wins along the way. Each time you face discomfort and persevere, you build momentum. These victories reinforce your belief in your ability to overcome. Momentum reduces resistance to future challenges and builds confidence. Remember that growth is a lifelong journey. Discomfort will continue to appear as you reach new levels of development. Instead of fearing it, expect and welcome it as part of your evolution. This mindset transforms challenges from obstacles into allies. Learning to embrace discomfort shifts your relationship with life's difficulties. Instead of reacting with fear or avoidance, you respond with curiosity and courage. This shift empowers you to take control of your growth and destiny. Discomfort teaches you patience and resilience in the face of uncertainty. It strengthens your capacity to adapt to change and thrive in adversity. These qualities are essential for lasting success and fulfillment. The process of growing through daily challenges rewires your brain. It strengthens neural pathways associated with perseverance and optimism. This neurological change supports sustained motivation and emotional balance. Start by identifying one discomfort you can face today that aligns with your growth goals. Approach it with openness and determination. Notice your thoughts and feelings during the experience. Reflect afterward on what you learned and how you grew. Over time, this daily practice transforms your mindset. You become someone who welcomes challenges rather than fears them. You develop a resilience that carries you through setbacks and propels you forward. Your willingness to embrace discomfort is a defining feature of becoming unrecognizable. It marks the transition from avoidance to mastery. This courage creates space for profound change in all areas of your life. Commit to embracing discomfort daily as a non-negotiable part of your growth. This commitment empowers you to rise above limitations and realize your fullest potential. The path may be difficult, but it leads to strength, wisdom, and freedom. Discomfort is not the enemy, but a signpost guiding you toward transformation. Follow it with intention and courage. In doing so, you unlock the power to become unrecognizable in 21 days and beyond. Chapter 15. Reflect each night and adjust what is not working. Reflection is one of the most valuable practices for growth and self-improvement. Taking time each night to review your day allows you to understand what worked, what didn't, and where adjustments are needed. Without this habit, progress becomes random and inconsistent. Reflecting regularly sharpens your awareness and helps you steer your life with intention instead of drifting on autopilot. It turns experience into wisdom. Ending your day with reflection creates a space to process your actions, decisions, and emotions. It allows you to pause and assess how your behaviors align with your goals. This quiet moment helps separate what is productive from what hinders progress. When you examine your day honestly, you gather the insights necessary for meaningful change. Reflection reveals patterns that often go unnoticed in the moment. It uncovers habits that support growth as well as those that undermine it. By identifying these trends, you gain clarity on where to focus your energy. This knowledge is empowering because it guides deliberate action rather than reactive behavior. Adjusting what is not working is essential for continuous improvement. When you discover an ineffective routine or mindset, you can choose to change it before it becomes a setback. Flexibility in your approach allows you to adapt to new challenges or circumstances. This adaptability prevents frustration and keeps momentum steady. Reflection enhances problem-solving skills. When you encounter obstacles, looking back helps you analyze causes and consider alternative strategies. This deeper understanding improves future decision-making and increases confidence in handling difficulties. The ability to learn from experience is a key driver of success. Developing a nightly reflection habit builds discipline and self-awareness. It encourages consistency in tracking progress and recognizing achievements. This accountability holds you responsible for your growth and prevents complacency. When reflection becomes a routine, it transforms your mindset toward proactive living. To reflect effectively, create a simple, focused process. This might include asking yourself questions such as, what did I accomplish today? What challenges did I face? How did I respond to them? What could I do differently tomorrow? These prompts encourage honest evaluation and foster problem solving. Journaling is a powerful tool to support reflection. Writing down your thoughts and insights deepens your understanding and creates a record of your journey. This record allows you to track progress over time and revisit lessons learned. It also provides a space to express emotions, which helps clear mental clutter. Reflection is not about criticism or judgment. It requires a balanced and compassionate approach. Recognize your successes and strengths, as well as areas for improvement. This kindness sustains motivation and reduces the risk of discouragement. Growth thrives in an environment of acceptance and constructive feedback. Nightly reflection also aids emotional regulation. Processing your feelings about the day's events helps release stress and negative emotions. This practice promotes better sleep and mental clarity. When your mind is calm, you wake refreshed and ready to tackle new challenges. Reflection improves time management by highlighting where time was well spent and where it was wasted. This awareness helps you prioritize tasks more effectively and eliminate distractions. Over time, you become more efficient and intentional with your daily schedule. By adjusting what is not working, you prevent repeating mistakes. Reflection helps you identify behaviors or decisions that do not serve your goals. Making small corrections daily leads to significant improvements in the long run. This approach keeps your progress steady and sustainable. Reflection encourages accountability without external pressure. It turns your attention inward, making you responsible for your growth. This internal accountability is more powerful and lasting than relying on others. It develops self-trust and independence. Incorporate reflection into your evening routine to ensure consistency. Choose a quiet time free from distractions. Turn off screens and create a calm environment that invites introspection. This dedicated time signals to your brain that reflection is important and valuable. Be patient with yourself during this process. Some days will be easier to reflect on than others. The quality of reflection may vary, but persistence is key. Over time, your ability to gain insight and adjust will improve. Reflection also strengthens your intuition. By regularly checking in with yourself, you become more attuned to your inner voice. This connection guides you toward choices aligned with your true values and desires. Trusting your intuition leads to authentic and fulfilling growth. Sharing reflections with a trusted friend or mentor can enhance the process. Talking through your experiences offers new perspectives and support. This dialogue can reveal blind spots and provide encouragement. However, the core practice remains personal and self-directed. Reflection creates a cycle of action, evaluation, and adjustment that drives continuous progress. This dynamic process prevents stagnation and fosters lifelong learning. It empowers you to take control of your development with clarity and confidence. Start tonight by setting aside time to reflect on your day honestly. Ask yourself what went well and what needs improvement. Identify one area to adjust tomorrow and commit to taking that action. This simple practice begins a powerful habit of intentional growth. Through regular reflection and adjustment, you develop the skill to navigate life's complexities with wisdom. You become adaptable, focused, and resilient. These qualities are essential for becoming unrecognizable in 21 days and beyond. This nightly habit transforms experience into insight and insight into action. It anchors your growth in reality and personal responsibility. Reflection bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. By embracing this practice, you take ownership of your journey. You align your daily efforts with your highest goals. This alignment creates a powerful force that propels you toward meaningful transformation. Reflection and adjustment are not passive activities but active tools for shaping your future. They ensure that each day builds upon the last in a coherent and purposeful way. This intentional progression is the foundation of lasting change. Commit to making reflection a sacred part of your day. Use it to celebrate victories, learn from challenges, and refine your approach. This dedication cultivates a mindset of continuous improvement and self-mastery. In time, you will notice how reflection improves your clarity, confidence, and effectiveness. Your decisions become smarter, your goals clearer, and your life more fulfilling. This transformation begins with the simple act of looking back with honesty and moving forward with purpose. Reflection each night and adjusting what is not working is a practice that unlocks your potential. It empowers you to learn from experience, refine your path, and create lasting growth. This habit turns ordinary days into powerful steps toward becoming unrecognizable. Chapter 16. Take full responsibility and stop blaming anyone else. Taking full responsibility for your life is the foundation of true freedom and growth. When you stop blaming others or external circumstances, you reclaim the power to change your reality. Blame is a way of avoiding discomfort and difficult truths, but it keeps you stuck in victimhood. Embracing responsibility means acknowledging your role in every outcome, both good and bad, and using that awareness to take purposeful action. This shift begins with honesty. It requires looking inward without excuses or defensiveness. You must see where your choices, attitudes, and habits have contributed to your current situation. This perspective may be uncomfortable, but it is essential. Only by accepting your part can you identify what needs to change and take steps toward improvement. Blame places your power outside yourself. It says that success or failure depends on forces beyond your control. This mindset creates helplessness and frustration. Responsibility, on the other hand, places control within your hands. It means you can influence your future through decisions and actions. This realization is both liberating and motivating. Taking responsibility is not about self-criticism or guilt. It is about ownership and learning. When things go wrong, instead of pointing fingers, ask yourself what you can do differently next time. This approach turns setbacks into valuable lessons. It cultivates resilience and problem-solving skills, which are vital for lasting success. Accepting responsibility also improves relationships. Blame often leads to conflict and resentment. When you own your mistakes and communicate openly, you foster trust and respect. This honesty strengthens connections and creates a foundation for collaboration and growth. Responsibility demands discipline and commitment. It requires following through on promises to yourself and others. It means showing up consistently, even when it's challenging or inconvenient. This level of integrity builds character and reliability. It sets you apart as someone who can be counted on. To practice taking full responsibility, start by examining your daily decisions. Notice when you shift blame to people, circumstances, or luck. Pause and redirect your focus to what you control. This awareness creates a habit of accountability that influences every area of life. Set clear intentions to own your outcomes. Use affirmations or reminders such as, "I am responsible for my success," to reinforce this mindset. Surround yourself with examples of people who demonstrate accountability and learn from their behavior. This environment supports your growth. Responsibility also means accepting the consequences of your actions without denial or justification. This acceptance frees you from emotional turmoil and denial. It allows you to move forward with clarity and purpose. When you stop resisting reality, you conserve energy and increase effectiveness. Avoiding blame encourages proactive problem solving. Instead of waiting for conditions to change or others to act, you take initiative. This proactive stance accelerates progress and builds confidence. It positions you as a leader of your own life rather than a passive observer. Taking responsibility includes owning your thoughts and emotions. Recognize that your reactions are within your control. You can choose how to respond to challenges, setbacks, or criticism. This emotional mastery strengthens resilience and promotes mental well-being. This mindset fosters independence. You become less dependent on external validation or approval. Your self-worth grows from within. This internal foundation supports consistent effort and persistence even when external circumstances are unfavorable. Responsibility also requires setting realistic expectations for yourself and others. It means recognizing what you can influence and what is beyond your control. This clarity prevents frustration and wasted energy. It directs your focus toward productive actions. Taking responsibility builds trust with yourself. Keeping promises and following through strengthens your confidence. This trust is crucial for taking bigger risks and pursuing greater goals. It nurtures a positive self-image and motivation. When challenges arise, reflect on your role instead of assigning fault. This reflection deepens your understanding and prepares you for future obstacles. It turns difficulties into opportunities for growth and development. Taking full responsibility is a lifelong commitment. It requires continuous self-awareness and willingness to adapt. As you grow, new areas of responsibility will emerge. Embrace these challenges as signs of progress and maturity. This approach empowers you to rewrite your story. You move from blaming the past or others to creating a future based on your choices. This transition transforms your identity and potential. Taking responsibility improves decision-making. When you own your outcomes, you think more carefully about choices and consequences. This mindfulness reduces impulsive behavior and increases success. Avoid blaming others by practicing empathy and understanding. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes and faces challenges. This perspective reduces judgment and fosters cooperation. Responsibility enhances problem-solving skills. You become solution-oriented rather than complaint-focused. This shift opens doors to creativity and innovation. Accepting responsibility also improves your reputation. People respect those who own their actions and learn from them. This respect opens opportunities in personal and professional life. Practice gratitude alongside responsibility. Appreciate your ability to influence your life and learn from experiences. Gratitude fuels positivity and motivation. Take responsibility by setting achievable goals and holding yourself accountable. Use tools like journaling or tracking progress to stay on course. This structure supports consistency. Avoid the trap of perfectionism while taking responsibility. Accept that mistakes are part of learning and growth. This balance encourages persistence and reduces fear of failure. Take time regularly to assess your level of responsibility. Identify areas where blame or excuses still appear. Commit to addressing these honestly and constructively. Surround yourself with accountable people. Their influence reinforces your commitment and provides support during challenges. Accountability partners or mentors can accelerate your progress. Taking full responsibility frees you from the chains of victimhood. It opens the door to empowerment and transformation. This shift is essential for becoming unrecognizable in 21 days and beyond. Start now by acknowledging one area where you have been blaming others. Take ownership of your role and decide on a concrete action to change it. This simple step ignites a powerful momentum for growth. Through consistent responsibility, you build a life defined by integrity, resilience, and success. You become the architect of your destiny rather than a bystander. This ownership creates freedom, confidence, and fulfillment. Taking full responsibility is the cornerstone of self-mastery. It unlocks your potential and leads to lasting change. Embrace it fully to transform your life completely. Chapter 17. Move with purpose and stop wasting your energy. Moving with purpose transforms your entire experience of life by focusing your energy where it truly matters. Energy is your most valuable resource, yet it is often scattered on trivial tasks or wasted on things that do not align with your goals. When you act with clear intention, every step you take contributes meaningfully to your growth and success. Purpose-driven movement sharpens focus, reduces exhaustion, and increases fulfillment. Purpose provides direction. Without it, actions become random or reactive. This lack of focus leads to frustration and fatigue because your efforts are dispersed without a unifying aim. When your purpose is clear, your actions become deliberate. This clarity prevents unnecessary exertion and maximizes productivity. Purpose guides your choices and keeps your momentum aligned with your vision. Many people operate on autopilot, reacting to external demands or distractions. This pattern drains energy and creates a sense of overwhelm. Moving with purpose requires mindfulness and awareness. It means pausing before action to ask, is this step aligned with my goals? Will this choice move me closer to what I want? This habit shifts you from being driven by habit or obligation to being driven by intentionality. Prioritization is a key aspect of purposeful movement. You must identify what truly matters and allocate your energy accordingly. This process involves saying no to low-value activities or distractions that consume time and focus without contributing to your objectives. Protecting your energy from unnecessary drains allows you to invest fully in meaningful pursuits. Purposeful movement demands planning. Setting clear objectives and mapping out steps creates a roadmap to follow. This plan serves as a guide, helping you stay on track and avoid wasting effort on irrelevant tasks. Planning also enhances motivation by breaking large goals into manageable actions. Progress becomes visible and encouraging. Energy management is essential for sustaining purposeful action. Recognize your natural rhythms and schedule demanding tasks when your energy peaks. Take breaks to recharge rather than pushing through exhaustion. Moving with purpose includes caring for your physical and mental well-being to maintain high performance over time. Purpose provides resilience. When challenges arise, a clear sense of why you are moving forward fuels persistence. It helps you overcome setbacks without losing direction or enthusiasm. This resilience protects your energy from being depleted by frustration or discouragement. Distractions are the enemy of purposeful movement. They fragment your attention and dissipate your energy. Creating boundaries around your focus, such as limiting social media, turning off notifications, or dedicating specific time blocks to tasks, preserves your energy for what matters most. Discipline in managing distractions is critical for effective progress. Purposeful movement also involves self-awareness. Regularly assess whether your actions reflect your true intentions or if you are drifting toward autopilot. Honest reflection helps you course-correct and maintain alignment with your goals. This awareness increases your control over how you spend your energy. Mindset plays a significant role in moving with purpose. Cultivate a growth-oriented attitude that sees every step as an opportunity to learn and improve. This perspective keeps your energy engaged and focused even during difficult or mundane tasks. Purposeful movement is sustained by internal motivation rather than external pressure. Purpose shapes your environment as well. Surround yourself with people and settings that support your intentions. This supportive context reduces energy drain caused by negativity or conflicting priorities. Being in an environment aligned with your purpose makes focused action easier and more natural. Energy follows attention. Where you focus your mind, your energy flows. Training your attention to remain on purposeful activities strengthens this connection. Techniques like meditation, visualization, or goal setting enhance your ability to maintain this focus and prevent wandering. Purposeful movement requires letting go of perfectionism or unnecessary multitasking. Trying to do too much or waiting for perfect conditions wastes energy and stalls progress. Focus on one clear action at a time and accept that imperfect effort is better than inaction. This approach conserves energy and builds momentum. Physical movement can also be purposeful. Regular exercise boosts energy levels, sharpens mental clarity, and supports emotional balance. Incorporate movement routines that align with your goals, whether to increase stamina, reduce stress, or improve health. Physical vitality underpins all purposeful actions. Purposeful communication saves energy by reducing misunderstandings and clarifying expectations. Express your intentions clearly and listen actively. Effective communication prevents wasted effort on conflicts or confusion and builds stronger connections that support your journey. Purposeful movement includes managing your emotional energy. Cultivate habits that promote positivity and reduce negativity. Avoid rumination or dwelling on unproductive thoughts. This emotional regulation frees energy to focus on constructive actions. Setting milestones helps sustain purposeful movement. Celebrating progress reinforces motivation and clarifies your path. This recognition of achievement energizes you to continue moving forward with determination. Purposeful movement means taking responsibility for your time and energy. Avoid blaming external circumstances for scattered efforts. Instead, focus on what you can control and choose actions that align with your purpose. This ownership increases your power to direct your life. Routine supports purposeful movement by creating consistent habits that align with your goals. Establish daily rituals that prioritize meaningful activities and conserve energy. This structure reduces decision fatigue and increases efficiency. Purposeful movement leads to greater satisfaction and reduced stress. When your energy is spent on what matters, you experience a sense of accomplishment and clarity. This fulfillment reinforces your commitment to intentional living. Start by identifying your core purpose and priorities. Write down your main goals and the actions that will move you toward them. Review these regularly to maintain focus and energy. Commit to eliminating one distraction or low-value activity from your day. Replace it with an action that supports your purpose. Notice the effect this has on your energy and progress. Practice mindfulness throughout your day to stay present and aware of how you use your energy. Pause before reacting to impulses or distractions and choose actions aligned with your goals. Moving with purpose is a lifelong practice that transforms not only what you do, but how you experience life. It empowers you to direct your energy toward meaningful outcomes, leading to growth, fulfillment, and freedom. This focused approach to action is a cornerstone of becoming unrecognizable in 21 days. It builds the discipline, clarity, and resilience needed for profound change. By consistently moving with purpose and protecting your energy, you create momentum that propels you beyond limitations. This momentum turns intention into reality and dreams into achievements. Embrace purposeful movement today and watch how your life shifts from chaos and exhaustion to clarity and power. Your energy is a gift. Use it wisely to shape the life you desire. Chapter 18. Speak your truth and stop hiding who you are. Speaking your truth and stopping the habit of hiding who you are is a profound act of self-liberation. Authenticity is a powerful force that brings clarity to your life and deepens your connections with others. When you express your true thoughts, feelings, and beliefs openly, you align with your inner self, which fosters confidence and peace. Hiding parts of yourself creates internal conflict and drains energy, but embracing your truth frees you to live fully. Many people conceal their truth out of fear of judgment, rejection, or conflict. These fears are natural, but often exaggerated in the mind. The cost of silence is far greater than the risk of speaking up. When you withhold your truth, you compromise your integrity and diminish your sense of self-worth. This internal tension can manifest as anxiety, frustration, or dissatisfaction. Speaking your truth starts with self-awareness. You need to understand your own values, beliefs, and feelings clearly before you can express them honestly. This requires reflection and courage. Being clear about what matters to you gives you a strong foundation from which to communicate authentically. Honesty with yourself is the first step. Acknowledge your desires, limits, and emotions without judgment. This acceptance allows you to speak from a place of truth rather than trying to please others or fit into expectations. Authenticity requires vulnerability, but vulnerability is a strength that fosters trust and connection. Expressing your truth also means setting boundaries. It involves saying no when something doesn't align with your values or well-being. Setting boundaries protects your energy and reinforces your identity. This practice teaches others how to respect you and create space for genuine relationships. The fear of conflict often stops people from speaking their truth. However, avoiding necessary conversations only builds resentment and misunderstanding. When you communicate openly and respectfully, even difficult topics become opportunities for growth and clarity. Clear expression reduces confusion and strengthens relationships. Learning to speak your truth is a skill that improves with practice. Start by sharing small, authentic thoughts in safe environments. Notice how it feels and how others respond. Over time, your confidence grows, making it easier to express deeper truths in more challenging situations. Your voice matters because it shapes your reality. When you remain silent, others make assumptions about your beliefs or feelings. Speaking your truth removes these assumptions and invites honest dialogue. This clarity leads to more meaningful connections and reduces emotional burden. Authenticity attracts like-minded people who appreciate you for who you really are. It creates a community built on mutual respect and understanding. This support system enhances your growth and provides encouragement when challenges arise. Speaking your truth also means owning your mistakes and imperfections. Authenticity is not about being perfect, but about being real. Admitting errors or vulnerabilities demonstrates courage and humility. These qualities deepen trust and open pathways for learning and improvement. Silencing your true voice can lead to a fragmented self. When your actions don't match your beliefs, you experience cognitive dissonance, which causes stress and dissatisfaction. Aligning speech with truth restores harmony within yourself. Communication involves more than words. Non-verbal cues, like body language, tone, and facial expressions, also convey authenticity. Ensuring consistency between your verbal and non-verbal messages strengthens the impact of your truth. It's important to choose timing and tone wisely when speaking your truth. Being direct does not mean being harsh or disrespectful. Thoughtful communication considers the feelings and perspectives of others while remaining true to yourself. Reflection helps prepare for authentic expression. Consider your intentions and desired outcomes before sharing your truth. This preparation enhances clarity and effectiveness, reducing misunderstandings. Speaking your truth empowers you to advocate for yourself. It builds assertiveness, which is essential for personal and professional success. Assertiveness balances respect for others with respect for your own needs. Authenticity fosters self-respect. When you honor your truth, you reinforce your value and dignity. This self-respect becomes a foundation for setting higher personal standards and pursuing meaningful goals. Hiding who you are often stems from a desire for acceptance. Ironically, true acceptance comes from being genuine rather than conforming. Authenticity invites acceptance, not based on perfection, but on real connection. Digital communication presents new challenges for authenticity. Online interactions can encourage masks or personas. Practice honesty and transparency in virtual spaces as well, maintaining integrity across all contexts. Dealing with criticism is part of speaking your truth. Not everyone will agree or approve, but this is a natural aspect of honest expression. Learning to receive feedback without losing your core self is a vital skill. Balance authenticity with empathy. Understanding others' feelings does not require sacrificing your truth. Empathy enhances connection and facilitates constructive conversations. Surround yourself with people who encourage authenticity. Supportive relationships nurture your courage to express yourself freely. These environments reduce fear and promote growth. Celebrate moments when you speak your truth, no matter how small. Each act of authenticity strengthens your voice and builds momentum. These victories increase your resilience and deepen your self-awareness. Recognize that speaking your truth is a continuous journey. As you grow, your understanding of yourself evolves, and your expressions may change. Embrace this fluidity as a sign of development. Being authentic improves mental health by reducing internal conflicts and promoting emotional honesty. It creates space for healing and genuine happiness. Speaking your truth inspires others. Your courage to be real encourages those around you to do the same. This ripple effect creates a culture of openness and trust. Commit to removing masks and stopping hiding your true self. Starting today, notice where you hold back and choose to express honestly. This commitment initiates profound transformation. Living authentically means embracing your unique qualities and experiences without apology. It frees you from comparison and societal pressures. Your truth is your power. When you speak it, you align with your purpose and invite opportunities that resonate with your genuine self. Practice mindfulness to stay connected to your truth in moments of doubt or fear. This awareness anchors you and guides your expression. Authenticity strengthens leadership qualities by fostering trust and credibility. Leaders who speak their truth create environments where innovation and collaboration thrive. The journey of speaking your truth and revealing who you are leads to freedom, fulfillment, and connection. It is essential to becoming unrecognizable in 21 days and beyond. Choose to live openly and honestly. This choice transforms your relationships, your mindset, and your life. It empowers you to step fully into your potential and purpose. Chapter 19. Practice self-respect and raise your personal standards. Self-respect is the cornerstone of a fulfilling and empowered life. When you honor yourself, you establish a foundation of dignity and confidence that influences every choice you make. Raising your personal standards is a natural extension of self-respect. It means expecting more from yourself in thoughts, actions, and relationships. This commitment transforms your experience and propels you toward the life you desire. Respecting yourself begins with recognizing your inherent worth. This worth is not based on achievements, possessions, or external approval, but on your very existence as a human being. When you internalize this truth, you reject harmful comparisons and accept yourself unconditionally. This acceptance does not mean complacency, rather it fuels motivation for growth while maintaining kindness toward yourself. Raising personal standards requires clarity about what you value most. Define what excellence looks like in your life by setting benchmarks in areas like health, integrity, work ethic, and relationships. These standards serve as a guide for decision-making and behavior. When you live according to clear principles, you navigate life with confidence and purpose. Self-respect means saying no to anything that undermines your values or well-being. It involves protecting your time, energy, and boundaries with firmness and grace. This practice often requires difficult choices, such as distancing yourself from toxic influences or rejecting short-term gratification that compromises long-term goals. Each act of refusal reinforces your commitment to your standards. Elevating your personal standards invites discomfort because it demands change and consistency. You may face resistance from old habits, social pressures, or internal doubts. Embracing this discomfort as a sign of growth helps you persevere. Self-respect thrives on discipline and resilience, not on ease or convenience. Accountability is integral to raising standards. Hold yourself responsible for meeting your commitments and living authentically. Avoid excuses or justifications when you fall short. Instead, learn from setbacks and renew your determination. This honesty builds integrity and deepens self-trust. Self-respect influences how others treat you. When you expect and demonstrate respect, people naturally respond in kind. This dynamic improves your relationships and creates a positive environment. Conversely, tolerating disrespect lowers your standards and weakens your sense of self. Cultivating self-respect involves mindful self-talk. Replace negative or self-critical thoughts with affirmations that honor your worth and capabilities. Language shapes your self-image, so speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement. This practice reinforces confidence and motivation. Raising your standards applies to daily habits and routines. Evaluate how your current behaviors align with your values and goals. Identify areas where improvement is needed and implement small, consistent changes. These incremental steps accumulate into profound transformation over time. Surround yourself with people who embody high standards and self-respect. Their example inspires and challenges you to grow. Avoid relationships that encourage complacency or undermine your progress. The company you keep significantly influences your mindset and actions. Self-respect includes taking care of your physical health. Nourish your body with quality food, exercise, and rest. Treating yourself with care signals that you value your life and potential. Physical well-being supports mental clarity and emotional stability, enabling you to uphold your standards. Raising personal standards requires clear boundaries. Define what behaviors you will accept from yourself and others. Communicate these boundaries assertively and consistently. Boundaries protect your integrity and prevent burnout or exploitation. Practice gratitude for your strengths and achievements as you raise your standards. Recognizing progress boosts morale and reinforces commitment. Celebrate your efforts without seeking perfection, understanding that growth is a continuous journey. Self-respect fosters independence. When you hold yourself in high regard, you rely less on external validation or approval. This autonomy empowers you to make choices aligned with your authentic self, rather than conforming to others' expectations. Raising personal standards enhances decision-making. You become more selective about opportunities, relationships, and commitments. This selectivity conserves energy and focus for what truly matters, increasing effectiveness and satisfaction. Learn to forgive yourself for past mistakes without lowering your standards. Forgiveness is an act of compassion, not permission to settle for less. Use lessons learned to inform higher standards moving forward. Visualize the person you want to become and the standards that person embodies. Use this vision to guide daily actions and choices. Visualization creates clarity and strengthens motivation to uphold your commitments. Self-respect grows through consistent practice. Each day presents chances to act in ways that honor your values. Over time, these choices solidify into character and lifestyle. Avoid comparing your progress or standards to others. Personal growth is unique and non-linear. Focus on your path and celebrate your individuality. Raising your personal standards includes financial responsibility. Manage resources wisely, plan for the future, and avoid impulsive spending. Financial discipline reflects respect for yourself and your goals. Emotional self-care is a vital part of self-respect. Engage in activities that nurture your well-being and reduce stress. Recognize when you need support and seek it without shame. Self-respect deepens with authenticity. Live in alignment with your true beliefs and feelings. This congruence creates inner peace and reduces anxiety. Commit to continuous learning and improvement as a way to raise your standards. Seek knowledge, skills, and experiences that expand your capabilities and perspective. Reflect regularly on your standards and self-respect. Adjust as needed to ensure they remain meaningful and challenging. Flexibility within commitment allows growth without rigidity. Practice humility alongside self-respect. Recognize your limitations and openness to feedback. This balance strengthens relationships and personal development. Maintain perseverance when facing obstacles. High standards demand endurance and patience. Each challenge overcome reinforces your commitment and builds confidence. Trust your intuition when setting and maintaining personal standards. Your inner wisdom guides you toward what serves your highest good. Raising personal standards is an act of self-love. It honors your potential and refuses to settle for mediocrity. This love energizes your efforts and nurtures fulfillment. Set daily intentions to act with respect toward yourself. Use reminders or journaling to keep this focus present. These practices build lasting habits. Recognize that raising standards is a gradual process requiring consistent effort. Celebrate milestones and remain patient with yourself. Self-respect is visible in your posture, speech, and demeanor. Carry yourself with confidence and kindness. These outward signs reinforce your inner commitment. Seek mentors or role models who exemplify strong self-respect and standards. Learn from their experiences and integrate insights into your life. Practice generosity and kindness to others as part of your high standards. Compassion does not diminish self-respect, but enriches it. Understand that raising your standards influences not just your life, but those around you. Your example inspires others to elevate their own lives. Choose to live a life rooted in self-respect and high personal standards, starting now. This commitment transforms challenges into opportunities and dreams into reality. Through disciplined respect for yourself, you build resilience and attract success. This powerful foundation supports your journey to becoming unrecognizable in 21 days and beyond. Chapter 20. Show up daily and become better than yesterday. Showing up every day and committing to become better than you were yesterday is the essence of meaningful progress. Transformation doesn't occur in giant leaps, but in the small, consistent steps you take over time. By showing up, you build momentum and resilience that carry you through challenges and setbacks. Each day is a fresh opportunity to improve, learn, and strengthen your character. Consistency is the key to mastering any skill or habit. When you make a daily commitment, you create a reliable rhythm that reinforces your dedication. This regular effort becomes a habit, making improvement natural rather than forced. Skipping days interrupts progress and weakens motivation. Showing up daily sends a message to yourself that your goals matter and are worth persistent effort. Improvement is a mindset that shifts your focus from perfection to progress. Being better than yesterday does not mean flawless performance, but incremental growth. This perspective reduces pressure and fear of failure, encouraging experimentation and learning. Celebrate small victories because they accumulate into significant change. Accountability supports showing up daily. Tracking your actions, reflecting on your experiences, and adjusting your approach keeps you aligned with your intentions. Holding yourself responsible prevents procrastination and excuses. Accountability fuels discipline and strengthens your commitment. Facing resistance is inevitable on this path. Some days will feel harder, motivation will wane, and distractions will tempt you away. Showing up, despite these obstacles, builds mental toughness. This persistence shapes character and proves your dedication to yourself. Every time you overcome resistance, your confidence and resilience grow. Showing up daily deepens your self-awareness. Regular practice reveals patterns, strengths, and areas needing improvement. This insight allows you to tailor your efforts more effectively. Self-awareness guides smarter choices and accelerates growth. Consistency fosters mastery. Repeated actions build skills, deepen understanding, and increase efficiency. Mastery boosts confidence and opens doors to new opportunities. Showing up daily is an investment in your potential. Growth requires reflection. Each day offers lessons that inform your next steps. Reflect on what worked, what didn't, and why. Use this knowledge to refine your methods and stay adaptable. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Daily effort impacts more than your goals. It shapes your identity. When you show up consistently, you reinforce the belief that you are someone who follows through and strives to improve. This evolving identity becomes a source of pride and motivation. Avoid comparing your progress to others. Your journey is unique, and growth is non-linear. Focus on your personal improvements and celebrate your path. Comparison breeds dissatisfaction and distracts from your own efforts. Balance persistence with self-compassion. Recognize that some days may bring less progress or setbacks. Treat yourself with kindness, renew your commitment, and keep moving forward. Self-compassion prevents burnout and sustains motivation. Develop rituals that support showing up. Create routines that prepare your mind and body for focused effort. These habits reduce decision fatigue and increase consistency. Rituals anchor your commitment and build momentum. Visualization strengthens your daily commitment. Imagine yourself succeeding and becoming better. This mental rehearsal motivates action and reinforces belief in your progress. Visualization aligns intention with behavior. Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage your daily growth. Their energy inspires and sustains you. Share your goals and progress to build a network of accountability and encouragement. Celebrate progress regularly to maintain enthusiasm. Recognize milestones, however small, and reward yourself appropriately. This celebration boosts morale and reinforces your commitment. Show up for all areas of your life, not just one goal. Balanced growth, nurtures well-being and prevents neglect. Attend to physical health, emotional resilience, relationships, and personal development with equal dedication. Use setbacks as learning opportunities rather than reasons to quit. Analyze failures constructively and adjust your strategy. This approach transforms challenges into stepping stones. Maintain flexibility in your methods. If one approach isn't working, explore alternatives without losing sight of your commitment to daily improvement. Adaptability keeps your journey sustainable. Keep a journal or log to document your daily actions and reflections. Writing clarifies thoughts, tracks progress, and highlights growth areas. This record serves as motivation and guidance. Be mindful of your energy levels and manage rest accordingly. Showing up does not mean overexertion, but consistent engagement. Balance effort with recovery for optimal performance. Set clear, achievable goals for each day. Defined objectives focus your energy and provide direction. Clarity reduces overwhelm and increases productivity. Embrace curiosity and a learner's mindset. Seek knowledge and feedback that enhance your growth. Openness accelerates improvement and broadens perspective. Remember that showing up daily builds character beyond specific skills or achievements. It cultivates discipline, patience, and integrity. These qualities enhance all aspects of life. Practice gratitude for your ability to show up and grow. Acknowledging your efforts nurtures positivity and motivation. Gratitude shifts focus from what's lacking to what's possible. Eliminate distractions and create an environment conducive to consistent effort. A focused space supports sustained attention and reduces wasted energy. Recognize the cumulative power of daily actions. Small improvements compound into extraordinary results. Trust this process and commit to your journey. Hold yourself accountable with kindness and firmness. Balance self-discipline with self-care to maintain long-term commitment. Seek inspiration from role models who embody consistency and growth. Learn from their habits and mindsets to strengthen your own practice. Be patient with yourself and the process. Lasting transformation requires time and persistence. Avoid rushing or expecting overnight change. Develop a mantra or affirmation to remind yourself why showing up matters. Use this phrase to reinforce motivation during difficult moments. Prioritize your daily actions based on importance and impact. Focus on high-value tasks that move you closer to your goals. Reflect on how showing up daily has improved your life and mindset. Let these reflections fuel further dedication. Choose to show up fully today, regardless of circumstances. Your commitment defines your future. Every effort counts. This daily dedication is the final step in becoming unrecognizable in 21 days. It solidifies the habits, mindset, and resilience needed for sustained success. Consistent effort transforms intentions into reality and builds a life of purpose and fulfillment. By showing up daily and striving to be better than yesterday, you claim control of your growth and destiny. Embrace this practice and watch how each day shapes you into the best version of yourself.